Happy Friday, everybody. I just recently am returning back to the home office. It's been a couple of days. I've been AFK. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the different videos that I have published out this week. For those of you who are new, welcome in. My name is Brian. This is Ginger Prime. Today we're going to be working on the Final Fantasy XIV Dragoon controller guide. I'm going to be dusting it all off. Yeah, and Scenic says, happy not having cancer. I know, man. Woo! Man, I was a little bit nervous. So for those of you who don't know, and I'm going to work on maybe some jokes that I'll do in stand-up maybe this week or whatnot. But for those of you who don't know, recently down 70 pounds. And also that I was a little bit nervous. I had a screening and had like a couple years ago, something came back pre-cancerous. And this time, no cancer, which is really great. So hopefully you guys are doing fantastic. A few show notes before we dive in. This is it's been a pretty crazy busy day. So I have taken the kids on a little mini vacation as they were on spring break this week. And now that we are home, everybody's kind of just chilling. And my wife's like, why don't you go play some video games? I was like, that sounds like a great plan. So I don't know how long the stream's going to go. So if you're watching this as a VOD, you probably can see how long it went. You'll know if I end up going the distance or not. But right now I'm feeling decently pretty good right here. And I thought it'd be a lot of fun to sit back, hang out with you guys and chill. Now, tonight for the voice chat portion, guys usually are aware I do generally open mic where anybody can come and join. If you're new to the community, hit that top link in the description, jump into the Discord server, all are welcome. Tonight we're going to be in the members lounge though for voice chat. Everybody can chat on any platform that they want to watch on. But if you guys are a member here, or actually when I say members lounge, that also applies to this Twitch subscribers. So if you have a Prime sub, things like that, as long as you have your Discord and whatever platform that you like to watch on synced up, the system should automatically give you the role and what you need, and you can jump into the members lounge and join us tonight. Anyhow, all that being said, hopefully you guys are having a wonderful time out there. I'm really happy to see so many, returning names here. Ferris, Vane, how are y'all? Tatiana Revan says, ONG, you're back playing Final Fantasy XIV? Question mark. So to catch anybody up to speed, for those of you who have been away and maybe haven't been paying attention, I put out my 1 year update on my goodbye from Final Fantasy. I've been making really good progress. At that time, I think I was down 40 pounds. I am officially down 70 pounds. With the release of the Xbox version of the game, I'm kind of back. I'm planning on that my official return would be around when I lose another 40 pounds. So once I'm below 210 pounds, I will be officially able to progress the story. So that is, I think, an important milestone for me personally, because that's one of the big reasons why I stepped away from the game. And being that I'm down the weight that I'm down is a really good thing. I still have a little bit to go, but as long as I do not progress any story, like the Dragoon controller guide, I just recently released the Monk controller guide, and I think I still have the Samurai controller guide after this. I'll have to double check. All that being said, that's really kind of what's going on. So if you guys want to come play, you want to team up, I'm going to be plugging away at Dragoon on the controller, seeing if I can't get it to feel the way I want it to feel and feel good. And hopefully I can help anybody who's considering picking up the game, making it much easier. Ferris says 130 pounds soaking wet and 5'10" here, dude. You're tall for that's not a lot of weight for a 5'10". I'm gonna put it out there. I'm down from 320 pounds, and now I'm officially like 240 something. So I will have another weigh-in in April. So we'll see if I'm able to get any closer. I want to get it as far away from 250 as possible. But anyway, that's going to be the plan. I'm going to bring in the Discord chat. You just heard a couple of people join in while I was kind of doing the intro monologue. If you guys enjoy the content, that like button is a great free way of supporting the stream. As if there's any supporters that end up happening tonight, every 25 elements of support, if you will, I gift out 5 members here on the channel, and that happens whether you're over on Twitch or you're over here on YouTube. But the membership is actually for the YouTube members, and we got a lot of exclusive content here at the channel. But yeah, that's the only plug I've got. Let's bring in the wonderful, wonderful Discord chat. How are you gentlemen doing tonight? I have a joke I'd like to work on, and I wanted to try it when I actually had people in voice chat with me. Are you guys ready for it? It's not
we're people. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right. No promises. No promises. I was like, all right, I need some real feedback on this one. And that's when one of the things I've been enjoying about the live streams. Recently, guys, I lost 70 pounds. It feels so incredibly well. My friend came up to me and said, how the hell are you doing it? And I go, well, I became a stand-up comedian. And he's like, are you any good? I go, well, no, I lost 70 pounds. See, I make my laugh. I make my laugh.
Funny. It's not bad.
Yeah, I wrote that in the car as I was driving home. I went and picked up pizza for the kids, and I was like,
the thing is, so here's the thing, right? It would be funnier if you were British.
Oh, probably. It would be. Dude, a lot of things would be better if I was British. My mom's British, so I'm British adjacent.
She's like from Britain? Or
yeah, she was born in London.
Okay, cool. Okay. Ooh, London.
London.
But no, it would be... Yeah, it would be better if you were British. Or if you were in Britain, right? Because it would be like, 70 pounds, haha, you lost money because you're a bad comedian.
Oh, that's great.
You know?
That's excellent.
Like that would make sense. But I fail to see the link between like, I guess, I don't know, you're so stressed out, you lost weight. I don't know. I fail to see the link.
It's that like as a stand-up comedian, I'm not good, so I'm not getting a lot of money, so I can't afford food.
Oh, okay, I get you. Okay.
So like, and then if I was going to take it into kind of like a more adult, mature evening and be like, well, I'm effing hungry. It's like, anyway, I was just like, I don't know. I thought of that. I was like, I'm going to try that out on stream. I'm gonna get some real feedback. I like Chili. He says, lost 70 pounds. I didn't know you bought a new PS5 game. Oh man, dude, I'm trying to get my Suicide Squad refunded. Let me see if that actually has happened. I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Did you play less than 10 hours? Okay.
Let's see here. I don't know how long that takes.
Game, I'm not getting no refund on that.
You beat it? Yeah, I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I beat it.
Wait, did you beat it or did it like complete for you?
No, I actually played and beat.
Okay. Okay.
Here. Manage. 1 second. Sorry, guys.
I don't know.
Getting distracted.
Yeah, I know it ain't the most popular game out there. It was a little breath of fresh air for me though, so I beat it.
Did you like it?
While I was playing it, yeah, I liked it.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know anything about how the seasons are going to be. I get a lot of people who don't like the game, though.
Are you scared?
I forgot how I did.
I mean, it could definitely be better. But...
My history, yeah. View my profile. PS really doesn't do refunds. I'm not on. I don't. If there was a game I bought on PlayStation, it's because I'm already a huge fan of it. I'm not going to spend money on a game. And this was more just like, hey, let's do this for a review. And I'm like, I don't know, man. And then it's like, okay, all right.
Yeah,
I was like,
Sony only really accepts money. They don't really give it back.
Yeah.
PlayStation, yeah.
Let me see here. It's refund.
Katie and I get it. I mean, from what I've seen, it's not a game I'm interested in.
Okay, well, I did another refund request. We'll see if anything happens. I said, give it back to my Steam wallet because I'm going to be picking up Dragon's Dogma 2 next week. Yeah. What's up, Caden? How you been, dude? Oh, man, I missed a earlier chat from you, man. Howdy. All right, let's switch over to Dragoon because it's like the guy's just standing around on Monk.
Well, let me know if my mic's too loud. I'm still kind of messing around with.
No, dude, you sound crystal clear, man.
That's always a good thing for me to hear with it. Then
you got a buttery smooth What's the gate? Is that the right word for like a voice?
You
Tone,
probably know better
cadence?
than me.
Okay.
Tone,
It's
cadence.
just plugged right into the computer.
It's the depth of his voice, like I don't know,
the tone of his voice.
the tone.
Funny
The
enough,
bravado,
Mike
like
Brandis
that's
tonar.
Rebirth is massive. Farrah says, "Yeah, I'm still working my way through remake. I just picked it up for the PS5, and I haven't played. And I've been doing my playthrough of that. So it's been a good time. All right, let's go to actions and trades because it looks like some macros got deleted out or something like that. Do they also remove like directionals for Dragoon like they did for Monk? I'm just still kind of shocked by that. People have been asking for that for a while, and then you got Yoshi P coming out talking about how the game. He's like, oh, we kind of made it too casual, and all the people are leaving. Maybe we will make Dawn Trail a little bit
No
less.
shit, Sherlock. Monk still has directionals.
Monk does not have directionals. I looked over every single skill. I looked over every single skill.
With him, I also looked with Brian, and I didn't see anything that required like flank or rear or anything. But I could have missed something.
Sure, Monk did Monk not used to have?
Monk used to be,
flank-related?
No,
Monk was
Monk
rear
used
and
to have-
flank.
Monk
That was
used to
the
have
first class I
directionals
started
galore.
off as. Oh yeah. That's the one I started off as when I started playing.
Yeah.
it.
Patrick says, Brian, for the first time in years, I played one of the least favorite classes, Bard. And I blame you for not hating it so much.
Bard was good.
Bard
Now
is also a work to game meme.
I do not know the meme.
It's
This might have
literally,
been early,
yeah,
before I joined.
maybe.
I remember the meme.
It's just generally like we just hate Bard, but like for no real reason. Like it's why, and it's like, well, I mean, come on, that's
Okay.
yeah, come on.
We hate it
like
for the memes.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Bard. Like, what are you playing a flute? It's like, come on, it's
No,
Bard.
yeah.
Yeah.
I get you.
My wife's a Bard.
Remind me that Dot has it? Okay. Take your word for it, Jelly.
Hey, look, I picked Bard as my first class in Baldur's Gate 3.
Nice.
Not quite the same as Final
No,
Fantasy
much
14
different,
Bard
much
does.
different, much different. Okay, so none of these have a directional. Chaotic Spring. Rear combo. Okay, so Chaotic Spring
Rated as Bard.
is
Yeah,
there's a rear
Chaotic
combo.
Yeah.
Combo. I'm just looking for any rears. Okay, so this does Chaotic Spring is a rear combo potency of 300. Okay, cool. Let's take a look at the Chaos Thrust. That also contains the rear. All right. Doom Spike. Attack with the potency a straight line before you. Makes sense. Sonic Thrust. Covalent Torment.
Kurthan.
Thank you. Kurthan Torment.
Welcome.
Piercing Talon. Fang and Claw. You want delivers an attack with potency 300 when executed from the target's flank. Okay, that's a flank. Fang and Claw. Wheeling thrust, I'm going to guess rear. Okay, so they kept the flank and the rear aspect, which is great because I have them still lined up for so if you guys aren't aware, like one of the things I do within the UI is if anything needed to be executed on the flank, I would always put it on like the left, right, X, B buttons. And if there was anything that needed to be done on like a rear from behind, I would do the up, down, A, Y buttons just so that like, oh, okay, I don't have in the moment, I don't have to think, wait, is this a flank or is this a rear? And so I was like, oh, okay.
Right,
See.
you just know. Yeah.
You just know.
That's cool.
It literally
That's
does
wise.
what it does. Life Surge,
There you go.
Lance Charge, increases damage dealt by 10%. Nice. All right. Elusive Jump, Dragon's Dive. Let's see here. Delivers a jumping attack with a potency of 250. That's Spine Shatter. Battle Litany, cool. Mirage Dive. Dragon Sight. Garrus Gogol, Stardiver. Warm with Thrust. Delivers an attack to all enemies in a straight line before you. What was this macro trying to be? Because it literally is just blank. think I was trying to like do upgrade like Mirage Dive or something. Maybe I guess they got rid of the
Macros.
welcome to the channel.
My eyes just like bulged out of my head. I'm just like, oh shit, that's a lot.
All right, it doesn't want me to delete those for some reason. Let's get those off my bar. All right.
Is the FF14 Xbox Series? No, I think he's just playing with a controller. He's
So
playing with
I
an
think chat with
controller.
somebody I saw, and I'm so sorry that I didn't answer your question earlier. If anybody, like, I think I saw it and missed it. I am on the PC version. I'm on my character. So yeah, that's
Right, but you're using an Xbox controller.
Oh, I always use an Xbox controller.
No, right, but I think that's where the person was confused.
Gotcha.
Technopunk. I think
The
that's where
the open beta is on Xbox now, but the official release is March 21st. So you don't have much longer to wait, which is really nice. My I got to figure out like we had a huge storm. We weren't home last night, but there was like in the DFW area there was like tornadoes and all that stuff, and apparently knocked out the power, and my my TV and my Xbox wouldn't turn on. So I plugged them into the wall and they turned on just fine. I was like, okay, there's I think the surge protector or something like that probably got toasted. So I was like, I gotta go figure that out tomorrow.
I had terrible electric where I used to live recently. It would go out all the time at the smallest little bits of rain.
All right, so that's Heaven's Thrust. So that's going to be that combo. A Chaotic Spring, Disembowel.
I got a couple questions here. Dialysis Dude asks, is there cookies in the Dragon's Dogma 2 waiting room?
Oh man, I wish, dude. I haven't had sugar in 9 months.
Could go for a cookie right about now
Dude.
and beyond.
Dude,
I had them earlier tonight.
oatmeal raisin, I think, are the best cookies on the planet, and I know I am not in the majority with that
You're
opinion.
not wrong on it though. You're
Dude,
not wrong.
a nice hot oatmeal raisin cookie, bro. Like so, as I'm losing weight, like I've been getting into smelling food. I don't know if anybody out there has been a fellow brother in fat. It's like, hey, yeah. I was like, oh, hey, do you mind if I smell that? I'm not gonna eat it, I promise. I just wanna remind myself why I'm doing this.
I mean, if you think about it, it's basically half tasting anyway when you smell it. So.
Yeah. Oh, dude, hands down, man. I also found that I thought I liked cookies as much as I like, like cookies and milk. Turns out I think I'm actually more of a milk guy. Like I could get a huge satisfaction from just a glass of milk. And
So
then
you like some cookies with your milk.
I
not
like
milk with
exactly. So I'm not a big, like, people are like, legitimately like, how are you losing the weight? And I was like, the one I mean, going into this entire endeavor has been, for me, I'm just never been a sweet tooth guy. Like, I like fruit, right? And I could definitely overeat, some watermelon, but no, like I just don't. I'm not like, oh man, I can't have that ice cream or I can't have that cookie. I'm like, I'm good. And so yeah, I'm definitely like a little bit of cookie, a big old glass of milk guy.
Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant now,
Oh,
but I
no.
still tear up that dairy.
Oh, yeah, as long as you're just scheduling, you're just like, well, I'm gonna be home for a while, so yeah, it's like I don't.
Well, I know mostly everyone around me is gonna feel the punishment just as much as me, so it makes me feel better.
Man, I guess Mirage Dive and Jump.
Chili said Snap Punch for Monk might have
It doesn't.
a flank.
I'll switch to
Might
Monk
have,
right now.
Where he says official site says that it's still flank for Snap Punch. I mean, the official site isn't always accurate.
Oh, it doesn't have it in the freaking green text. You're right.
Can only be executed when in coral form.
Yeah, but it says the executed to the target's flank. So Chili's right. I still have it in the flank position. Demolish as well. Does it say that as well? Oh yeah, it does. Okay, target's rear. It's already in the correct position. So I'm good. I haven't sold people about. I was just like, gosh, I kept looking at all the green text, and then I go over
I thought it would
to.
be in green text as well.
Yeah, it's hidden.
Okay.
It's hidden.
So Monk still has positionals.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for the correction. I appreciate you.
I didn't see that either.
Oh man.
Smooth work, Chili.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'll spend, that's when people are like, oh man, just read the tooltips. Like, people do read the tooltips. You're asking people to comprehend. You're asking for comprehension here. You're not like, well, I read them. I don't know what the hell they mean.
I mean, people see potency and they're just like, nani? It's like, what? What's potency?
No, I did not name my chocobo or characters Ginger Prime. Like, that's always funny because like people, like there was a time where people were like trying to like, besmirch my name. It happens, right? And somebody was like, send me a screenshot like, hey, is this you? Trying to dunk. And I'm like, I don't call my characters Ginger Prime in game. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, I'm a content creator, guys. Like, no.
Shows they don't pay attention to you if they don't know that.
Well, and it's not that I hide my character name, Bryn Zalazar. I'm just sort of like, yeah, when somebody sends me a screenshot.
Weird that, like, you're one of those weird people who keeps the name showing even for your own character, and it's just people still miss it. I'm just like, what?
I don't show my name on the main character unless I target myself.
Oh, I thought you did. Never mind.
No. Like I like as clean of a UI as possible.
Okay.
Well, Brian, speaking of your name, I feel like I was being accused of being an alt account of yours on Twitter.
Yeah, a lot of people were, and I learned a new word from Karamak the other day because he was saying they're called sock puppet accounts. And I was like, I've never heard of that, and I was like, what the hell are you guys talking about? So he clarified that it's like, yeah, when you basically make like a fake alt to go in and agree with you. And I'm just like, who has that kind of time? Because if I was going to
believe how popular they are.
I'm sure that people who have time, because that's the thing I just never have. But I was like, if I was going to do something like that, I would write a bot. I would take the knowledge I have and I would automate that because I don't have the time to sit here and agree with myself. Just like, I'm honestly always looking for somebody to give me more context and more information. I'm like, all right, I could be wrong. Like,
I mean, there are companies who do that.
With fake accounts and stuff.
Who buy bot farms and fake accounts. Yeah.
Oh, dude, 100%. The game is rigged, guys. Like, if people are like, oh man, I was like, I know there's people who do this kind of crap, and it doesn't bother me because I don't like. Oh man, I'm blessed because I'm just like, this is fun. I'm having a good time. There we go. That's the sign to success. Mm-hmm. Chili's asking, does Brian know what a Smurf account is? No, I'm a sheltered little boy.
I don't
like an alt account in video gaming where you get on it like you're a new player, but you're actually like Jesus in the game, so you get to get paired up against all the newbies instead of all the tryhards on your main account.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Roughly translating. I'm sure you can get more detailed on the description.
And there's seal clubbing.
Yeah, but that one person is very insistent that I'm you online, and I'm like,
that person is a confirmed.
Give me some of me.
That person that you're talking about is definitely a confirmed racist and a bigot. Like it's. It's like, all right.
At their profile, and then
oh my gosh.
Then when I looked closer, I was like, I understand now why I'm getting all this pushback. And then they kept reframing everything I was saying.
Oh, dude,
saying, well, why don't you give me an example of this? And I'm like, I never made that point to begin with.
Right. But even then, when presented with examples, it's like they just don't understand. Like I was like, you're not dealing with somebody with logic and reason. You're dealing with somebody who needs prayer and probably an exorcist. Because that's just, they are gone. They're like that, like that's who you're talking. That's who we're dealing with here.
I mean, those people.
They kept trying to spin it to a bunch of like an inflammatory version of what I'm saying.
Well, because that's what's worked for those people for so long.
They gaslight you. They gaslight you.
Like, are you saying this? It's like, no, but you are.
Like, where did I use those
you
words
are.
At all?
Like, why you keep like, I'm like, dude, like, and I'm like, I didn't post it. I saw it in another thread, and I was just like. Yeah, okay, like you're defending the people who called and said that all the Jewish people should be aborted. Like, okay, like maybe you're the racist. Like come on. But that's Twitter, right? It's just talk.
Literally people trolling out there.
That, and at the same time, it's like you got to remember that a lot of these people are brainwashed. So it is what it is,
Yeah.
So online mental illness.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy out there.
Yeah, we're susceptible to it, all of us.
As someone with mental illness, I do not claim to those people.
That's why online mental illness, it's like a class of its own. Not the same symptoms or the cause, but it's got a similar end result. Just in a worse way.
UI.
Yeah, we don't own those people. We don't claim.
I wouldn't want to either.
They make us look bad.
You're not wrong.
I think everybody's just getting fatigued of it, right? Because it's like,
yeah,
like if any pushback to any idea that you present is now classified as harassment, like when everything that we keep seeing is like just respectful, like, all right, man, we're just not gonna play these games, not a big deal, and everybody's like, oh, they're harassing us. It's like, maybe, yeah, there's definitely probably bad actors for sure.
That. So not even that. Like, okay, they're harassing us. Hello, you're the ones doing the harassing.
Right. Well, that's the
STFU.
that's the play. That's the literal play. Because it's like,
weird
and the beautiful thing is that you legitimately see everybody who's on the payroll. So you just see all the different articles coming out, and this is all stuff like everybody already knew it. It's just an open secret, and it's like, oh yeah, you want to, you're like, oh, they made a list about these games. It's like, all right, well, if you like them, like those kind of games, you got a list that you know what to go buy. And it's like at the end of the day, like, I mean, that's, but then they're making, they're making lists about and literally like blacklisting it. You will never work in this industry again. We will make sure we will cancel you. We will threaten you. We will threaten your companies and all this stuff. And I'm like, all right, man, like I think I'm good with what we've got. Like I feel
to get the guy's personal gaming account banned because he made a list of exactly what's on their website with no other context.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's the thing, like these things are just like detected, right? It's not even like avoid. Like it's just like a list to like, hey, these are the games these people have worked on. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if that's the case, someone should be able to say, I don't like what these guys do in their business. This is so you can tell if you also don't like it, you don't have to buy their products.
And
that way you can make your own decision.
Here's the thing, right? And this
or
is
you can buy it.
And this is here's the thing, right? And this is how you know people don't really care. Nothing stops you from going to that list and buying those games to support that development team or that consulting team.
Right.
Nothing stops you, but they're not doing it.
No, they're just trying to spin it to make you look bad. That's what it is.
Right.
You can't have an opinion different from theirs.
No, you can't. And it's like, it's you fall in, if you do not profess the dogma, you are ostracized. But I think there's enough like I think what this does is kind of highlight that, and I've been seeing a lot of really good breakdowns and takes online that I've enjoyed listening to, because it's like, what is going on? Is there anybody who is like actively harassing these people? Let's call them out too. Let's not accept that as an appropriate response. And so far, like we're being harassed. There's no I have yet to see any real evidence that is actually happening. And they're like, I got all these messages. Yeah, like people are like, nah. And it's like, okay,
the messages they got are probably their sock accounts.
Well, you never know. Like, and that's the thing. I'm like, can you prove that this also is somebody who is not like, because it's like, it was interesting. Grum's, he had a whole like step by step of, he's like, this is what's gonna happen, and it's like, we're on step 7. It's like, yep. So here we go. Let's see here. Technopunk says, Brian, I got a question. Do you know when they are going to show all the jobs' new skills? Because I really want to see what they add for Summoner and Pictomancer. Can't wait. And so, generally speaking, there should be a media tour, and where they invite various different content creators. I'm assuming that this one will be back in person again. The last one was digital. I do not know, and I do not believe I will be invited, but that's okay. And they generally do that. Then they have a live letter that's scheduled where they kind of do the job skill showcase, and then that's when all the content creators can kind of release the videos they worked on, breaking down the new skills and how it plays and their thoughts on the upcoming expansion, yada yada yada. So as far as the timeline, we know that there's going to be a panel next week at PAX East. I do not think that is when we're going to get it, but I do wonder if we're going to get the release date for Dawn Trail. And if we get the release date for Dawn Trail, then we can probably start to really kind of hone in on when the media tour would be. So if it was, for example, in if they are going to release this game in June, I would assume the media tour would be sometime in May. Because it's not, they don't make you wait forever, but you're looking at least 30 days, I would assume. So it could be for anywhere from a 45 to 30 days. Chris would probably be much better to give you like a targeted date than I, because he's got the spreadsheet of like, the prophecy, it's like, here it is. And it's the only time I think he got it wrong recently when he's like, the spreadsheet told me that was the date, but I didn't believe my own spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet was right. All right. Let's see here. Might as well just start playing and seeing how it feels. Okay, yeah, there's that. See, that's the thing. Okay. That's the dragon's dive. From the rear. I got some skills and things like that to figure
Patrick,
out.
that's sort of true. The issue is that, so when it comes to Marvel, I know what you're saying, but a lot of things in
tax breaks.
A lot of those things in Phase 4 are not good. There's no way to defend them. Are they entertaining? Sure, but they're not good movies.
You could watch dog poop rolling down a hill and it'd be entertaining.
I would push back on Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
That's the only one I heard was actually good.
Yeah,
actually that's the only one that made a profit last year of all the Disney stuff.
I'm a Guardians enjoyer, so I can believe
quote unquote profit. It made a profit / just broke even. It's debatable because it's iffy on the movie budget.
Yeah, their other movies lately ain't been too great.
No. But most things in Phase 4, aside from Guardians, has been
Loki season 2. But I think we're not seeing superhero fatigue personally. I think we're just seeing bad movie fatigue.
Agree. I still love seeing superhero movies. It's the bad movies.
Herd is no longer valid. How is that so? He says Herd was good doesn't mean you will think it's good or bad. My point is the Herd is no longer valid. I'm not quite sure I buy that.
It's usually right when it comes to me. If I hear a ton of people saying it's bad, then I go watch it. I find it neutral to bad regardless.
When someone says something's bad and they explain why it's bad and give concrete reasons and concrete examples as to why something's bad, okay, then it's bad. But if they're just saying it's bad without any substantive thing, yeah, that's fine. What I'm saying is Phase 4, most of what I heard about Phase 4 and watched and saw was people explaining why things are bad and giving concrete examples as to why they're bad and why things don't make sense within the movies and how they're inconsistent within their own movies and how they're all just terrible. And most of them are just terrible.
Wasn't one of the ones they released lately literally have the damn boom mic still in the final cut of the movie?
Oh, serious?
I think it was maybe it was Madam Web. One of the
was Madam Web.
We got to separate the web from the MCU though.
It's not MCU.
I don't know. I'm just thinking.
That's why there could be somebody was speculating about a lawsuit about how Sony is causing damage to the Marvel brand by releasing these just awful movies.
I mean, that's
because
true
if everybody's like, oh, Madam Web, the MCU, because I think even the actress when she was hired thinking that they were
Dakota Johnson was coaxed into believing that it was a Marvel movie.
Yep.
Didn't the director take his name out of that project or something?
I think so.
After the trailer was released and she got shat on for it, she fired her agent.
Yep.
Who got her the movie, so
I don't blame her. She probably needed to.
Yeah. I mean, I think she's a better actress than that, but
yep, sometimes it's the role, not the actor.
Yeah.
I was gonna go see the movie, but then I heard across the board general consensus is terrible movie.
Yeah, I heard a breakdown of it, and it was not. Just a lot of things were just weird.
I hadn't heard a single good thing about it.
No, I mean, it's rare when the critics and the audience agree.
True.
So
It is
take that for
rare.
what you will.
When they both come together to tell you it's bad, it's probably bad.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the issue you have with a lot of movies is that the I was trying to say is YouTube has too much hate content on MCU. If people are critics you trust say it's bad, it's okay to believe it. I just don't trust YouTube reviews.
No, dude, I agree with Patrick on that one for sure. Like that, and then we're seeing the same thing with crapping on content is the easiest way to get attention.
Here's the thing, though, right? Like people are watching that content because it resonates with them, right? It's not getting clicks just because it's being contrarian.
It does.
It's getting clicks because it's getting clicks because people agree with it.
Right. But there is and this is where, like, as somebody who does content, like, I have to always be like, I'm always trying to be very cognizant of the influence that I can actually quote unquote wield at times. And so it's easy to see that content creators can sour the pot. And so, yes, they kind of, in a way, there is a possibility of them creating that same, anger and the frustration around the game or in, the show, and then feeding into that. So it ends up being like, oh, I watched this video and, I really thought about it. It's not that the critique can be wrong, but we do see this sense where my personal thing is like, yeah, I might use like a YouTube review, decide if I want to get a babysitter and go see this movie with my wife. But more often than not, like, I'll watch it and then I'll go listen to reviews and then formulate something. But the opposite does happen, and I think that is, like, art's subjective, right? Like, maybe somebody really enjoyed, a certain MCU movie where, like, I think WandaVision was incredible. Loki season 2, incredible. The Guardians of the Galaxy 3, incredible. But what made those stand out, and why are the other movies not doing so well? And it's all about, I think, their hubris. They thought they could get away with anything, and so then they just, like, even James Gunn said that, like, they would start movies without even having a finished script, and so all of a sudden people are just kind of like, well, like, why did that happen? It doesn't seem to make any kind of sense. And then they've run into almost what the DCEU had, where it was just inconsistent in quality. You'd have Wonder Woman coming out and being great, Aquaman doing incredible, then you would just see them take a huge dip. It's like, and then it was just like, so it was so inconsistent. I'd end up going to the movie like, I'm a fan of DC. Let's see if this surprises me. Like, all right, I don't know what this is, but I do have a lot of hope for James Gunn's DCU, because I think that's what those properties deserve, especially when you look at their animated lineup. Like, the animated DC is so good, and I'm like, why can't we have this?
Yeah.
On the
animated stuff was good, man.
Yeah, it's incredible. And so it's like, guys, okay, you figured that out. Sony's figuring out animated Spider-Man. They can't seem to do the real life Spider-Man stuff. Stick with the stuff you're good at, Let's just keep going with that.
Got endless possibilities with the animated one, especially with the Spider-Verse.
Oh, exactly. They could do so much, and they're like, and yeah, they're playing around with it. DC and TV and movies baffles me. Batman is probably the most profitable and redone hero ever. Yet, when was the last good Batman movie? Have you seen the Robert Pattinson Batman, Patrick? That was phenomenal.
I've still got to see that one. Is it
good? It's absolutely an incredible. Now, what I hope, because they're going to do it, they're doing a trilogy. What I hope for that character is, I want to see also more investment into the Bruce Wayne side of the character, but that's just something that I kind of want to see. Oh, the actor who plays, he's an incredible actor. So if you are only thinking of him from Twilight, like, note that Patterson, like, the guy he's incredible. And it's like, yeah, I'm really happy that he's in this role, and then people really enjoyed his first foray into Batman.
Yeah, I've heard he's really good too, and everyone kind of is funnel visioned into his role in Twilight, but I've heard he's really good outside of that as well.
Yeah,
he's done other stuff, but I just don't know what.
Yeah, same with me. But
it's
I
good
do
stuff.
keep hearing he's very good.
Oh, it's on Netflix right now. Crash says.
Oh, dude. Hey, what's up, Crash? Thanks for teaming up with me in Destiny this week, man. I really had a good time. All right, let's see what else do I need.
Oh, it's also on HBO Max, according to Patrick.
Oh yeah, but that's HBO, and please,
Yeah.
HBO, just call it HBO. Like, why drop the HBO and keep the Max? That just sounds awful.
I mean, HBO makes more sense than just Max, right?
It does.
Home box office.
Yeah,
That
They
makes
should have
sense.
stuck with HBO. Just Max sounds terrible.
Max, like, I
It
think
doesn't
I
indicate
think of
anything.
Tampax.
Yeah, it's
That's what I
not
think of.
Max compared to any other streaming service, and everyone knows what HBO is. They should have just stuck with that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what made them walk away from that name. It has way more recognition than just switching to only Max. Maybe that's what they're going for, though. Trying to stand out as like to people who aren't familiar with it, a new type of service for people to check out that isn't associated with that name. Maybe. You guys seen Dune 2 yet?
no, I haven't even seen the first
No.
Dune, but I want
I
to.
went and watched it with my girlfriend this past weekend in IMAX.
Nice.
I personally enjoyed it.
I've
but
heard
I
a
loved
lot
it.
of really good things. Apparently, we started watching the Willy Wonka with Timothy Chalamet as well, and I was enjoying
I
that.
do like that.
Yeah, so he seems like a decent actor. I'm only just recently seeing what he's been putting out.
I have to check that out too. Then.
Kind of date yourself. HBO sounds like a B channel to me.
I mean, how many other networks have had Max in their name at one point in time, though?
I don't know, man.
I feel like if you're just going with only Max,
Right.
I don't know about that as a brand name,
Exactly.
especially in the TV and kind of like streaming service area. Like, it's already been used in a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
At least HBO's unique. Kind of.
Well, I mean, like my Julie and I, we like watching The Gilded Age. Have y'all seen that yet? It's on HBO.
Nope, haven't watched it.
Dude, oh my gosh.
My parents have been watching it and they love it.
I love it. I love it. It's a wonderful little period piece. A lot of seems like some parallels to our current situation in the world, but it's just fun because it's like, if anybody ever watched Downton Abbey, which, like, I watched that with my wife and we went to the movie. I'm maybe a fan, but watching this, and it's just like it feels like it's the American version of Downton Abbey. It's like, yeah, you don't have royalty and lords, but you still have these barons that literally just control all of society, and then you have all these new people who are getting rich doing stuff in America, and then you have like old money versus new money, and it's just fun. Like it's so wild because it's like how a house is built today. Like I have the house here and like the needs that the house fulfills, but like how they would build a house, because it's like, yeah, we're gonna have a ball. We have a room that is just a room for snacks, that we're gonna all go into the snack room and eat snacks in this room. And now let's transition into another room. Like, okay, and yep, like I would feel weird if somebody was like serving me, but then they're just having like the most intimate conversations and the most like right in front of the servants, and the servant is just like standing there. I'm like, man, what a day, man. Oh man, the boss and the missus were at it again. I don't know.
I have to check it out.
It's good. It's definitely they've got 2 seasons out, and the other series that my wife and I really like, if you guys haven't ever seen it, it's the Outlander. So Outlander is really, really enjoyable.
I've heard the name. I haven't seen
I've heard of it. I don't know anything. I don't know much about it. It like goes between the past and the future and the present. That's all I know.
Yeah. So there's definitely a time travel element, and by present, like they kind of the 1930s and 40s, and then the time continues on. Has continued on. So as far as like the current time, I think some characters have made it into the 1980s. So. See, Patrick says, MCU, I forgot the best Phase 4 movie was Spider-Man No Way Home, and as long as you saw Spider-Man 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, and 2 first.
Oh, yeah, there is a special order.
Was
you
that
gotta
Phase...
watch the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I think...
That was...
I think we're
doesn't count because that was mainly a Sony movie.
Oh no, that still
Disney.
counts. It was still using like, you know, it was.
Yeah.
But I think isn't that Phase 4? I think maybe our complaints are actually more directed at Phase 5, which kicked off with Ant-Man. Yeah, that's right. So anything that's Ant-Man forward is Phase 5, and then Phase 6 leads into the next Avengers movie.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like
that
like when I was watching Screen Crush, and he really talked about it, he put it in a way that I was like, yeah, it feels like they obviously pushed too hard into Disney Plus, you know, trying to drive like that content for people. And so when you look at what Secret Wars as a show was, which I have not watched, so I don't know if it's good or bad, just overall, like, all right, maybe I'll get around to it. I didn't feel like I needed to. Secret Wars, or not Secret Wars, clone, whatever the heck it was. It was the
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion, yeah. That should have been an Avengers level movie. Like if everything that other thing was building to that, then you have that moment, and we didn't get any of that.
No.
You know, so it's like we didn't get that. We did not get that ability. Yeah, you know, that's the general consensus that I've heard, Patrick. But I don't want to say that it's bad. I just haven't seen it yet.
I've heard it too.
But like Screen Crush was like, man, imagine if they did that as a movie where it's like Secret, you know, like it builds up Secret Invasion, you know, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have that Avengers level moment as that kind of bookmark to, you know, the end of 4 and the start of 5, or, you know, wherever they want to put that.
That's actually how they make the shows, right? They're structured as movies, but they chop it up into bits, into episodes.
Yeah. Well, they're changing that with the Daredevil Born Again series. Thankfully, they brought in the Netflix guys, because apparently whoever was running the show, like they've had their ass handed to them quite a bit.
They did not bring in the Daredevil writer.
Well, not necessarily the writer, but the people who are the showrunners and stuff of that nature. So, I have hope for Daredevil. They're bringing back Punisher. Like it's like, yeah, like, you know, like get to work, guys. People, I think, you know, people want this level of entertainment, but y'all just haven't been delivering, you know.
True.
They got the wonderful Emilia Clarke, first of her name and Queen of the Seven Kingdoms, and ruined it with these terrible scripts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like,
I'm pretty sure that's a Game of Thrones reference.
Yeah. I think if they really truly like adopt, and this is good, this is true for the DCU. This is what I'm going to be evaluating James Gunn's run on it, is that he wants to really have that finished script done for the movie. And so then, especially, I think what we've seen where the movies that have succeeded in phase 5 and the ones that haven't, the ones that have succeeded have focused on actually telling a story about that movie. And yes, it might move the overall narrative forward a little bit, but it's all about actually that movie. And the ones that have failed, they're all just about trying to get the bigger picture. We got to push to Kang. You know, and that whole thing. And then, you know, all of that.
We'll see where that goes, because Jonathan Majors is in jail now.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's out. Robert Jones, what's up, dude? He says, they are rebooting Daredevils and Punisher ? It's not a reboot. It's like Daredevil Born Again is actually a storyline within the comics. And so now it's coming to Disney Plus. So they've made the Netflix stuff canon. And so we're probably going to see the Defenders return, which I think is good, because my hope for the next Spider-Man is I want a street level Spider-Man. You know, you got Kingpin, you got Daredevil. There could be some kind of really cool team ups. So I'm hoping that the Daredevil Born Again is something that sets up that. And then the next Spider-Man, you know, is kind of the movie that kind of just builds off of the Daredevil series. But yeah, I've seen they have had pictures of the Punisher in his full garb and, you know, things like that. So that's coming back. I'm assuming we'll see Jessica Jones and, you know, Luke Cage and Brand, whatever his first name is, Danny Brand.
So Patrick,
Rand.
You're not alone on that hill. There are a lot of people on that hill who like the actor who plays Kamala Khan. She's fine.
She's incredible.
I've heard
she's a standout. She's
I've heard
wonderful.
no complaints about the actress. It's
the actress. No, her
that's
character is
into
also
it.
just, I think, just a treat. Like, I enjoyed like what I've seen from her, like her character too. Like, you know, so yeah, I'm all in. I think she's just phenomenal. And I hope that she has both an incredible career, but also like, yeah, I'd love to see more Kamala Khan in other movies and stuff like that.
You guys are gonna see the new Deadpool movie?
Yes, that's a babysitter movie. That's like we're gonna go see. I'm going to the theater.
Deadpool guy.
I can't wait to see me some more Hugh Jackman.
I took Julie to the first one for Valentine's Day because that's when that dropped. It was great. It was great.
I saw the first one. It was fun. I don't remember really liking it all that much.
Not a big Deadpool guy, then, huh?
I'm not a big Deadpool guy, no.
Hey, I'm a big Hugh Jackman guy. I want to see my Wolverine, man.
Dude, Logan was so good.
I love him.
So good. I hope that this, it obviously is not going to, Logan's a story that happens, quote unquote, in the future. But I really hope that this in and of itself, like, maybe has some X-Men 97 references. Like, that was my X-Men back in the day. So I think it would be
bringing back the classic style costume. For, like, kind of.
Oh yeah, put him in the yellow. Which we've never been able to see him in that, and so this will be kind of iconic for that. What's up, Nevi? Have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV and the expanded free trial, which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn, as well as the award-winning Heavensward and Stormblood expansions up to level 70 for free, with no restrictions on playtime, now in beta on Xbox. I appreciate the meme, sir.
Alaric asks, so did you like the Dune 2 movie, and have you read the novels?
So I haven't read the novels. I haven't seen the movie either.
I've seen Dune 2. I liked it. I'm biased because I love seeing movies in the theater, so I already give them extra points for that. But I've heard the books are significantly different in certain ways, like a lot more adult themed and some things that aren't socially acceptable in the modern age in the books. Like some of the stuff that the bad guys do and stuff are a little bit different.
The worst part about it that I've heard is that it's difficult to read because of how it's written.
I'll have to read them myself. The people that have read them that I've heard really like them.
Yeah.
So I'll have to give them a read sometime.
Robert,
I like the movie though.
Robert says, has anybody watched X-Men 97's new episodes yet? I'm waiting to resub to Disney. I have not seen it yet. We generally bounce between Disney and Netflix, etc. So I'm waiting to see for when more episodes come out, and then there's another thing that they're, I think, getting ready to release on Disney Plus that I'll turn that back on and make some time for that. So I'm looking forward to watching the new, because it basically builds from the last time the X-Men that series ran was in 97, so that's why they're calling it X-Men 97. So this is like the next, if there was a season 6, this is season 6, and it builds off of what they've done before. So I'm looking forward to watching it. I think it's going to lead into, obviously, build up the Daredevil, Wolverine, and perhaps maybe what they'll do with the next Avengers is Avengers versus X-Men or something like that, where it's like, and then that leads into the final Avengers with Doctor Doom, would be my guess.
That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I've got the Disney Plus included in my phone anyway, so I'll probably go give that a watch.
There you go. Alaric says the movie completely changed the ending. For example, in the books, Paul and Chani have a son who is killed by the Emperor. Ooh, I don't know who any of those people are.
Well, I know there's going to be a third movie. Paul is kind of the main character.
He's the main character of the first novel.
Chani is
the second movie is not the end of the movie series. They're making a third one.
Yeah.
So they haven't technically ended the.
I heard her character is a bit different as well. I heard she's a lot more passive in the books than she is as Zendaya in the movies.
It's also I've heard from people who have read the books that it's more of a Romeo and Juliet situation in the books.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Chani is not.
She's a strong female character in the movies, which I hear is not how she is in the book.
She's she's less skeptical than she is in the movies, or at all. Not at all, if I recall.
I'm gonna have to get caught up on the Dune stuff. I do miss going to movies. Like, that's one thing that this stage of life with young kids, like, there's things that I just don't do anymore.
got to be rough for you to even be able to get out the house these days.
It's expensive, man. Like it's just like you end like as a you know, as a parent, it's more like I'll just wait till it comes to Disney or comes out on Netflix or whatever. Like, no, I'm not gonna go spend that much money. Like, and you're like, not even just for the ticket to the movie. You know, it's literally for like the babysitter, the time. Then I'm gonna have my wife stressed out the whole time because it's like, how much are we spending to do this? My wife is a wonderful woman, but she's also a massive cheapskate.
Yeah, I spent $20 on a large drink and a large popcorn last weekend to go see Dune, and it was like $30 for
That
the
sounds
IMAX.
fun though, man. That sounds fun.
I love going to the
Did you
movies.
get the
I'll pay the price.
popcorn bucket?
I wanted to, but they didn't have it. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it. I don't care if I even put any popcorn in it.
Yeah.
But they didn't have it. I'm pretty sure it got sold out pretty fast. It was certainly an interesting design, I'll say that. Pretty meme style one at that too.
The second movie is the end?
No way.
Okay.
Really?
They're making a third one. I don't know what it's from. I don't know what it's about then. If the second movie is the end of Dune, I don't know what the third movie is about because they're going to make a third one.
I can't even explain what the ending is without spoiling it to see why there would like have to be another movie around what's going on, but
End of the first.
yeah, Robert Jones says end of the first book.
Yeah. So I guess.
Oh, how many books were there?
5, I think. Can't
Okay.
remember.
Good little amount.
3,
I'll have
5,
to
something
go
like
check.
that. Not quite as long as Wheel of Time, which I think took my friend like a month to read through, or something. Months to read through. It's a fucking long ass series, Wheel of Time. It's 14 books, and we're not talking about like 200 pages. Each one is like 500 pages.
Can't even remember the last book I've read. The only physical books I still own are
6
the Harry
books,
Potter
okay.
ones.
Oh, Maddie's been reading through the Harry Potter books, and then we started watching some of the movies, which has been
And
fun.
I had to have read it. I had to have read the whole series like 20 times at least by now.
I've been reading it to all the kids, so it's been enjoyable.
I think I've got one of the special collector's editions of the first book. The
What?
rest of them are like junky, regular hardback.
Well, I didn't know that Twitch was sub only chat. Let me fix that, because it's like I have the voice chat's members only tonight. But let's see here, dashboard. It's like it's supposed to like archive into like the VODs are supposed to be that. But let me fix that real quick. Sorry, chatters over on Twitch settings, stream. Oh wait, I could probably do it for Stream Manager.
Don't worry, we
Raid.
still love you over there, Bezos children.
Sub only chat. Disabled. There it goes. Let me know if that works. I'm so glad you said so. I was like, yeah, usually people chat a little bit more on
On
Twitch.
On Twitch, huh?
It's like everybody's like, this asshole just wants to make money. It's like, we know.
Bezos was putting down the suppression on him.
Oh, you never. You know, that'd be kind of funny because it's like, yeah, like he's like, well, all right,
mean,
we're just gonna turn select people to turn it on.
Site-wide sub-only mode.
Yeah. So guys, if you want to chat, you gotta open them. You gotta support the Amazon.
True. The original Dune is about 900 pages, Alaric says.
It's a long book. It's like a Bible.
When I was a kid, I was grounded from TV all the time. I wasn't acting up or anything. It was just like one grade off of, had to have all season above, always had that 1D. So I was always reading. So I was always reading. And I would go to the library, go to the fantasy section, and always pick the biggest book because that would keep you occupied the longest amount of time.
I need that babysitting money, guys. I need that babysitting money so I can not make content and leave the house.
So you can go watch a damn movie and pay a babysitter. Let's see. Pay per letter. Yeah, Hey, we joke, but you never know. One day they might start off as like 1 cent a letter. The future
man.
is unclear.
Man, I think that'd be so silly.
That getting that extra money for you to have the babysitter opens up the possibility of a new channel, Ginger Movie Prime.
Oh man, I've wanted to like do like, you know, like, hey, yeah, like here's my thoughts on. I'm like, I don't feel like I have. And this is something I always tell people. It's like, stop assuming that you're not good enough. Just do whatever. And I'm like, but at the same time, I'm also like putting out plenty of content. So it's it's like, all right. What would I turn off? You know.
I'll tell you one thing: you definitely aren't putting out not enough content. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
If I was hungry for content, you never leave me hungry. That's for sure. It's always a good thing too. Never got to go looking.
Oh, Brian.
Yeah, I know. Wrecked. Woo. Hurting. The healer up? All right, good. Oh, I'm down.
Yeah,
what hit
Larry,
me? Bleeding.
people who read the
Bleeding
books
got me.
have a lot of problems with the movies. Some even say they liked what's the David Lynch's version better. But I wouldn't know. I mean, I'm not really interested in Dune.
All I know about them is the movies they've put out, so nothing for me to hate on yet.
I don't know.
Oh, the healer was down. That makes sense.
Well, Lord of the Rings is more my speed, but they're also.
I haven't watched them in so long. In my memory is so terrible. I basically don't even remember them.
I've only seen the Fellowship of the Ring, the theatrical cut. I haven't seen anything else.
All of those movies I remember watching them again when I was a bit younger. And I just remember them being so long. Like you're almost guaranteed to start feeling tired and falling asleep per movie.
Stop reading books. No, that's a non-negotiable.
That's the wrong answer.
That is the wrong answer.
Yeah, dude.
Book reading has ruined too many movies. Maybe movies should stick to
the source material.
That's a hard thing.
Instead of taking too many liberties. Or if you can't stick to the source material, do what what's his face said. Oh, that was sarcasm? Sorry. I'm the worst person for that. One, I can't figure out sarcasm. Two, it was sarcasm does not translate well in text without a /s or like a kappa.
A lot of things don't translate well in text.
Yeah.
But I also just have a really hard time determining sarcasm. So,
I mean, it's true on some levels though, because the books can be basically as long as they want, and the movie's got an hour and a half to 2 hours. They gotta decide what they can and can't put in.
And you also want.
They gotta take. Sometimes they make the wrong choices.
Yeah, sometimes they make the wrong choices, and it's like I don't envy them. I'm sure it sounds like a hard job.
Oh yeah, sounds hard. I listen to Mike at 30 and still gaming all the time, talking about movies.
Dude, 30 is great.
And it sounds rough. It sounds rough to be in that industry.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, I try to enjoy the movies that are good.
What done? Can't even say I've heard of it actually. Maybe I have.
Dungeon Crawler Carl. I haven't heard of that one either.
Dungeon Crawler Carl. No, I have not read these books. These don't even look familiar.
Oh, thanks, Angel.
Literature RPG?
I'm allergic to cats, but I'll still agree with you there, Patrick.
What did Patrick say?
Together, the cat is obviously the best character.
Everyone likes a cat, and
obviously, cats are the greatest, man. tell the Dune story is to a miniseries, like well, that's like people who have read the Harry Potter novels and then they watch the movies and it's like, what the hell is this? That's why that's why Harry Potter fans are actually really are being highly optimistic for the series that they're gonna make.
The books just give you so much more in-depth feeling to the world than the movies could ever portray.
I mean, I never got into Harry Potter.
That was more my brother's generation. That they were all into it. I watched the movies. I really enjoyed them.
I've seen a couple of the movies. I read the first novel. I don't remember the novel at all.
It's been a while since I've read the first one. I don't remember it too well either. I remember the general story, but I mean, I love the part when it goes from him being just a regular kid, then he's all the excitement of becoming a wizard, joining the wizarding world. Pretty good stuff,
Dresden Files, yeah, those are some good novels I've heard.
Which ones?
The Dresden Files.
Oh yeah, I've heard that.
I know of them. Again, I've never read them. My to read list is very long. I'm currently going through a few books. Sporadically.
I always used to just read fantasy stuff when I was growing up. Dragons, vampires, magic, space, stuff like that.
I've read a lot of stuff. Not a lot of stuff. I've read a lot of different stuff. But nothing. I think with Harry Potter, they did a good job compared to other adaptations and movies. Like Lord of the Rings is probably the best. Yeah, Lord of the Rings I've heard is the best.
Well, they still took liberties. They didn't have certain characters.
That's a series I haven't finished yet. Both movies and books.
The extended version of the Lord of the Rings is the preferred, I think.
Yeah, the 12-hour cut.
Yeah.
God bless you if you can get through that.
I've done it.
There are people who do it.
Done it in a day.
There are people who do it.
I will one of these days.
Patrick, have you read Foundation or seen the Apple TV series, Pat? Foundation show different. Foundation books are great.
I think I want to read the Witcher books to see how different from the games they are.
I'm actually reading the Witcher source material. Basically what the Witcher ripped off.
I heard it's a little bit different. Like the games aren't exactly like straight.
They're not
translations of the books. It like takes inspiration from.
the books things. You have to keep in mind as well, like the original books were written in Polish, so things lose in the English translation.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah. Although I heard some of the Witcher novels are kind of weird. In terms of just like imagery, I think, and like the discussions that take place within the book, like the overarching discussions that take place, like the philosophical discussions that the books explore and stuff like that. Like some of the books are really weird in that regard. I've heard. I have no interest in The Witcher. I'd rather read the quote unquote the original.
Rip and hate.
Which is Elric of Melniboné. So I got 3 of the Elric novels for Christmas. They're thick, like 500-600 pages, but they're not novels. They're like novellas and short stories, from what I can tell. So that should be a fun read.
Been sitting here on the Destiny Orbit screen for like 2 hours now. Still haven't played anything.
What are you looking for?
Just chilling.
Yeah, no, I've just been watching Brian's stream and then reading chat.
Nice.
Nothing. Can't be bothered to play anything. Like I'm in Destiny, but I'm not actually doing anything. It's Guardian games right now and all that.
Oh yeah.
I had fun playing on Monday.
I was gonna join you, but I was out and about, still kind of doing house stuff in the new house.
Yeah. How's getting all settled? Everything going good?
Yeah, got the FiOS set up.
Yeah.
Nice, dude.
Still kind of setting up. I got a gaming room and my bedroom kind of like connected. It's a big house, $500,000 house.
Oh,
so
dude,
a lot
congrats,
more
man.
space, but that also means as
Thank
the
you,
only
Patrick.
male in the house, I got a lot more work to do. A lot of patching, painting, doing all this other stuff, building furniture.
That's good, dude.
Coming along.
Work's good for the soul.
Patrick says,
Yeah.
I'm gonna run another dungeon as a bard. Curse you, Brian, and your positivity.
Oh yes, that
By the way, you
toxic
can just do
toxic
/S.
positivity.
By the way, Patrick, you can just do /s. That works too.
Oh, is that what
There's
that
gotta
means?
be some kind of emo.
/s means sarcasm. Yeah.
Good to know. All right. I always just thought it meant
So-
say. It's like,
Also, too, if you're in
in
Twitch
MMOs,
chat
kinda.
and someone puts a little kappa face,
Yeah.
that's also sarcasm.
mm-hmm.
So, in case you didn't know that one, boomer.
I'm not a boomer, but
I know that one.
I know. I'm just poking fun.
I'm a millennial.
Also, it's called the Eternal Champion series, but it's an original story that many other stories drew from. Gotcha. Eternal Champion. Toxic positivity is Brian's middle name.
Yeah, pretty much. How dare he find enjoyment? It's like, guys, I don't have time to be. I'm like, all right.
/s is my middle name. Good to know, Robert. I vaguely remember this dungeon.
Yep.
That little like panel thing is what I remember. Nothing else. Patrick says, Brian haters, we hate you, Brian. Brian, I pray for you to find peace and happiness. Brian haters, see, he's the worst.
It's so true. Oh
Exactly.
my gosh. And it's like someone's like, you shouldn't joke about praying for people. I was like, I literally sat and I have a rosary shower, a shower rosary, and I literally just kind of sat in the shower and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna take 30 minutes to chill and pray for these people.
Oh my. Poor
But
Brian.
that's honestly like one of the things that I've found, like, ironically enough, gets them generally to leave. They're like, don't pray for me. I was like, all right. Like, I'm still gonna do it. Somebody was like, Catholic in the bio, because like it's like I wish I would have replied. The first line in the bio says this. Like,
The first descriptor.
I am not trying to like hide this from people. Oh my gosh.
That's the thing I was saying earlier, that person of accusing me of being your fake account. I was like, firstly, Brian doesn't have time to be dealing with people like you,
I just don't. I'm
especially
just
when
like-
they're not contributing to the conversation.
Well, and it's like when
It's on
if all
Twitter?
you're gonna if all you're
Yeah.
gonna make is bad faith arguments, like, I'm just all right, like, whatever.
They were constantly trying to pin people into like
Well,
looking
they-
like racist and
the
bigots
thing
when
is,
they were
the
rephrasing everything. That
The
was being
beautiful
said.
thing was just like, you were the one, like, you're actively being racist and you're like, you have a problem? Like if Tyler Perry puts like only black people in a movie? I go, no, I got no issues with it. Like that sounds awesome. Like I'm not going to tell him how to make his movies. Like what are you talking about?
As long as the movie's good, and I heard his movies are.
I like Tyler Perry movies. Like
mostly good. His Medea movies, I hear, people have mixed feelings about them.
Yeah.
You either like them or you don't.
But his regular movies, his regular non-Medea movies, I've heard are pretty good.
I think he's an incredible talent.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, but they were annoying me earlier because I was just going back and forth trying to give intellectual answers and stuff.
You can't
try not to be nasty because it's my nature to be nasty.
No, it's not that they're stupid. Like very intelligent people find themselves easily getting sucked into cults. So if you think you can't get sucked into a cult, fix that thought right now because it's been shown. It's been literally so like from my perspective is like I think I always try to like I'm like assume that and again like hey let's have a good conversation and etc. Even if it comes to be like well we just have to agree to disagree because we're just not gonna whatever. But it's that like when you present factual arguments and it's like they just can't handle it like and they go immediately to the like claims of victimhood and harassment. And it's like, I mean, my kid, like you're acting like a toddler, like you're throwing a little online tantrum. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to pray for you. Cause like only in my, like, unless you're open, to being wrong, which I think everybody should be, always just be like, all right, maybe I'm wrong about this. Let me learn. Let me absorb new information and then I'll judge it. And then, right or wrong, it is what it is. But in this case, like, I think that's where the only real help in this case would be God or an exorcist. So
yeah, they were being super bad faith. They were clearly, I mean, they stream, so they were clearly in there trying to bait someone into saying something.
That's
so
the
they
whole
could
thing.
Repost it on their page, which they did screenshot me and repost on their page and try to say I was projecting and I'm your fake account and you just wouldn't answer my question. I'm like, you're asking questions about something I didn't say.
Yeah.
You want me to answer a question you're posing that you're pretending I said.
While at the same time, you're like, it's perfectly fine to say you can't be racist to white people. It's like, I'm not saying we like, you need to go and be like bend over backwards, but it's like, lady, if you want to like, if
it wasn't even a lady, it's a dude. And
no.
It's both.
There's literally an EA employee who was like, yeah, I know you're talking about. I just don't hire white people because of the microaggressions. I'm like, interesting.
Yep, I saw that clip.
I mean, I don't care if you hire white people or not, but if you're going to be blatantly like, like if somebody comes in and is like, yeah, like it's a great, option, but you're like, nope. I was like, that's racism. Like, it
literally is.
Like, because, and the litmus test is, if somebody of another race would say that, if a white person came out and said, hey, I'm only hiring white people because like whatever reason, I can't even think of one on the fly.
Have the government on you
like that in and of itself is racism. So if that is, then the opposite also is. If you're saying like this, I will not hire this race. And it's like, all right, like I didn't even say you needed to. You volunteered that information on the internet. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right.
She didn't even say I'm only going to hire these people. She was saying she's not going to hire these people, which is like a big difference.
Oh, gastrointestinal PG is promoting BS.
No, man, we're doing just fine.
Outsider asks, can you do a macro video for FF14 online? Or do you have one already? Can the Xbox version use set macros?
Yeah, Xbox can use the set macros, and there should be one online. But if you need a little bit, like if you go and you just search the channel Outsider, like there's so much content for you, like in terms of just like going through it. But
do you know what you?
Well, let's just give it to him now. Like it's like in terms of macros. Do I have macros? I have macros. You got a couple.
I have macros?
Do I have? Whoa, where all my shared ones go? All right, well,
does a bear shit in the woods?
Yeah. So one of the things about macros is like generally speaking and this is somebody was trying to like I did a react to oh man okay so this I'm sorry outsider I'm gonna walk you through this, I promise, but there's a little bit of a story that kind of goes along the lines. But I recently did a react to a video made about me when I left, making various different claims based off of the information that they had about my video when I retired from 14. And so I recently reacted to it, and it was so boggling that they actually had unlisted the video, but they only put it into unlisted, so I was able to go see it. And there were people on dunking on me in the comments because they're like, yeah, he uses macros. And it's like, yeah, I'm not doing the end game raid stuff. Like I'm not like running the ultimate. And and since then, like the macros were about doing the correct skill, because we didn't have it automatically upgrade skills. So if you got synced into a dungeon, you'd be missing a skill. And so like the macros in and of itself were just literally addressing the problem. And then people are like, oh, remember when he did that? It's like, yeah, I helped out so many people, guys. Like, I'm sorry that your end game, like raiding crew wants to like say that I'm doing something wrong, but 99% of the people who enjoy this game aren't running ultimates. It's like, all right, like I just found it funny and humorous. An outsider, you did not need to do that. Thank you so much for becoming a Prime starter here. Be sure to have your Discord synced up because you get extra perks. You can actually come hang out with us in the members lounge. I don't know if and how that happens, but let's move our counter. That puts us, oh my gosh, that's 20 out of 25. Every 25, I gift out 5 to the community. Thank you guys so much for that support. I do appreciate you guys greatly. All right, let's get to the education piece of this puzzle for our newest member, Outsider. There are a concept of PvP macros, and you're going to see stuff like where I do this PvP action. On an Xbox, if you have a keyboard, you're going to be at a massive advantage. I wish the feedback that I turn into this game and will continue to ask is, can I share macros in game? Can I like say right click, send to somebody, or post in a shared way? I used to have shared ones. I'm guessing they got yeeted out when I uninstalled or something, but you have your individual and you have your shared. Shared is between your different characters, but that gives you ultimately basically just under actually at 200 different macros that you can use. This will always be, the individual tab will always be your main character. The shared tab will always be all of your characters. So if you're like, oh, I need this macro, I need it there. Now, macro position 98 and 99, I believe that's the ones that they are. Yeah, 99 right here. Those are can be reserved as a part of, if I go into the system configuration, controller configuration, button configuration, I have mapped my R click, my R3, to execute macro 99. What that does for me is, here I am out in the world. I can summon my mount, I can dismount, I can jump and use my sprint function, as well. So it gives me basically a multi-purpose button, and that does not impact my combat performance. And if I couldn't summon a mount, it would automatically have me sprint. And if I go into the user macros section right here, and down here into the movement, you can see here I turn off, I have this M error off, so I don't see like something popping up going like, hey, you can't do that. And that's just more of a minor annoyance. AC is, your action. And in this case, then I put in quotes the name of said action. And then you can see here, I also have PvP action. So PvP action versus AC are different things. And you can see here, I also have sprint here. So when I'm in PvP, that click acts as a sprint, because PvP sprint and normal sprint are 2 different sprints. I didn't make up the game. Like, that's not on me. I would have done it a little bit differently, but I also don't work for Square Enix, and that is what it is. And then you can see here the micro icon is the icon that the macro will use. And if you do things that have generally a cooldown or something associated with it, you definitely want to associate the icon of it, so it will give you that timer. So if I use this buff, and if this was a macro icon, then I would still get that timer and have it fill itself up until I could do it back again. But there is a written guide also up on the Square Enix site that will give you insight to all different kinds of commands that you can use. And so you can see here I do cross hotbar set, name of the skill, the hotbar. So then the number here represents the hotbar, and then this represents kind of the coded part of the D-pad. So LDU would be left trigger, D-pad, and then the up position. LDL would be left trigger, D-pad, the L position, and so on and so forth. And then you have the A, which would represent the face buttons, and that is how that is structured. So if you have a specific question, Outsider, just let me know, man. Like, let's get you what you need. But yeah, if you search the channel, there's probably a bunch of videos. Also with your membership, hopefully you come back and check out all the different Member Mondays posts. I do a post for all the members on Mondays. And then I also have special other videos that are at different tiers at the Prime level and above. But glad you're here, dude. All right, I'm gonna put myself back in the queue. I did not mean to put myself into level 80 dungeons. Shadowbringers. Oh, I need to go to 2. That's why I was like, wait. There we go. 90. 90. I don't want the dead ends. I don't want... I'll do that one. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Solemn is on voice. So I have Yamarin and Solemn with us. Robert can join us as well. So we're hanging out in the members lounge and in the Discord voice. Generally speaking, I typically run open mics, so anybody that wants to come hang out in voice is usually welcome. But with all the kind of drama, I was like, I don't want to get anybody just trying to pop in and scream at me today.
Yeah, we'd rather avoid that.
Yeah, I was like,
I think that is a compliment, Robert, especially from someone who shares the same first name as me.
Oh,
I mean, listen, Solemn, your voice
buttery smooth.
can make some women throw their panties at you.
It does from time to time. Just one these days works out better for me that way.
Yeah. I don't know how people are like, you know what, I need more women in my life. Like, I'm like, no, I'm good. One.
Yeah, I learned that.
I just want one, and I'm having trouble enough as it is. So.
All right, guys, we got to get Yamarin a date.
Oh yeah. If you're only interested in online relationships, this will be easy.
Yeah.
No, I'm looking for a wife, guys. So, but I gotta.
Well, that's the hardest scenario, so you might need to buckle up.
I've stopped right now, so I haven't been on anything for the past 7-8 months.
Yeah.
So, just working on myself right now.
It's good. I always find that relationships were when I wasn't seeking them.
Yeah.
True, that's how it goes a lot of the time, to be honest.
Well, I think it's just like you kind of just like, yeah, I'm good. I like me, and it's like, oh, hi.
That's when you're most yourself, when you're just being you and not looking for stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. This looks like Alagon technology. Where's it? Where's it?
1 second.
Gotta find some motivation to do this Destiny stuff. Now I'm just looking
the Guardian games.
Yeah, I did it a little bit last week, and that's the first time I'd played in months since the season started. But good lord. And then when your vault is full and you just have to constantly manage loot to get new loot in, it starts to get annoying eventually. Because I don't want to get rid of anything. So every time I'm getting new stuff, then I have to stop playing and go do more management.
Nice. Smooth criminal.
Brian, question.
Yeah, what's up?
Why has the beanie been MIA?
It hasn't. It's generally speaking, I'm like, streams, they're more, I don't know, casual, relaxed. And that was just the thought, because it's like, it's like, if I had the beanie on, then it's the headphones are over the beanie, and it's like, maybe it's the hot, light. And I was like, I just want to be more comfortable. Now, for videos and stuff, it's like the angle of the camera. I've always just had a massive forehead, which obviously with the receding hairline and the hair loss.
No, I'm just talking about the streams.
Oh, but again, the streams are just more like fun.
Yeah,
It's like, all right.
That's cool.
So it's like, yeah.
Not complaining, just curious.
But yeah, like
it does get hot wearing a hat or a beanie and headphones. It like amplifies the heat significantly.
I don't know
the
how
heat,
you
and
guys
also
do
it just hurts the ears. Like I always found, like after like I finish the stream, I take the headphones off. I'm like, oh, my ears kind of are sore.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, well, I was like, well, just take it off. I was like, I'll use it for the like the brand, the videos, etc. Because also when I film with that camera, like it, the angle in of itself, it just accentuates the massive melon that is on top of my head.
It's holding in that massive brain, man. It's a compliment.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what they say, man.
That's what I keep telling myself, at least.
It's not brain size that matters. It's the number of neurons in your brain that matters.
It's how you use it.
Got to start counting the number of ridges.
Oh yeah. There's only one example.
Out here got smooth sections, no ridges.
Smooth brain. There is only one physical example of an actual smooth brain in existence right now. That's in some museum somewhere.
All right, give me more information. I do not know what we're talking about.
So you know how your brain has like little
crying out loud,
little corrugations, right? It has little folds in it.
Yeah.
So
Pathways,
a smooth brain is a brain that doesn't have those, because those folds and things are actually really important for your brain to function, because it helps with blood flow.
Okay.
And actually, it's associated with high intelligence.
And the reason it's normally used is to call someone very stupid and low IQ, because you don't have ridges.
What's
in
galactic brain?
A lactic brain?
Galactic brain.
Galactic brain. Basically, it means like super, like 600 IQ.
It's like a mega meme where it's like the different levels of galaxy brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly.
It means your brain is so big, it's like a galaxy.
Yeah, because that's what people just keep calling me online. And I'm just like, all
right. Basically, people are just, it's basically another way of saying you're like really smart.
Cool.
Or usually it'll be talking about a specific take you have, like, or something you did was a galaxy brain move or something. It's like you're playing 10D chess above everyone else.
Exactly. Galaxy brain is always a compliment, unless it's used sarcastically.
Oh no, watching for S/S's or kappas.
Gotta watch those kappas.
Oh no, they kappaed me. My hubris.
If you ever add another emote, it's gotta be that one.
Kappa, yeah.
But and so there's only one brain in existence that we found that has no folds in it. One human brain in existence that has no folds in it. And it's like, I don't think they dissected it. I think it's just on display somewhere. I can't remember where.
Probably in some kind of jar somewhere, I imagine.
Yeah. And like formaldehyde.
But it's really just a way to call other people stupid or low IQ or a really dumb take, which we will always find an infinite number of ways to do so.
Well, that's how you get the best attention, is just to have the dumbest take ever.
So Patrick says galaxy brain is when your brain is so big you make an Excel spreadsheet of every MMO release date to do analytic review to determine future releases.
Yeah, thankfully that isn't me though.
That's very middle name.
That makes sense.
That's for somebody who has never knocked up a woman.
You gotta.
I mean, that's fitting, I suppose.
Your brain's got to be built a certain way to do stuff like that, and mine just isn't.
I like Chris. He's great.
I'd have to put in a lot of effort to make that happen.
I don't.
I could do it, but do I want to?
I have the patience for it.
It's so funny because somebody was asking Chris at FanFest, like, how do you know all this? It's like, here, let me just pull up the spreadsheet. It's like, Like we've been on this radio.
That would probably sound like him.
Brain wrinkles are sexy. Yes, they are, dude.
Hey, you're not wrong. Eating this ice cream that my girlfriend got me. She knows I'm lactose intolerant. And it's some good ice cream, I'm gonna tell you.
What flavor?
I mean, that's never stopped me before.
I don't know. It's some kind of chocolate, and then it's got like fudge in there, Reese's Pieces. Not like the candy Reese's Pieces, but pieces of Reese's.
Yeah, sounds
Peanut butter cup.
It sounds
That's the
disgusting.
good stuff. That's the good
Look,
stuff.
I've got
Oh man, I hate peanut butter.
Oh,
I like peanut butter stuff.
peanut butter's good.
I had a Blizzard the other day that's got fluffer nutter in the middle of it, which I don't know if you guys know what that is.
Yeah. Well, Brian, do you know what that is?
Basically peanut butter spread, but marshmallow instead of peanut butter.
Yeah.
Marshmallow spread.
Oh, nutter butter.
That's diabetes right there. I'm telling you that.
I'm dead.
Fluffer
Floor
nutter.
tank.
Oh, you're dead. Uh-huh.
Oh, they got
Not
me.
enough time.
They got me rest. Well, I got hit by 2 dots, and then I was like, did not make it
Fluffer
big.
nutter I know is when it's marshmallow fluff and peanut butter combined. That's what I know it as.
Yeah, those are good sandwiches, man.
I
used
never
to eat
had
them all
one.
the time growing up. That and
I
peanut
like-
butter and butter.
I like
Sounds
banana
weird, but
sandwiches, man.
I love me a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Yeah, that's what people would say. Like, and so it's like back even in
Dude.
high school, we would do the they'd be like, hey, before the game and whatnot. Like, okay, so and so's mom made sandwiches. They'd always make me just a jelly sandwich. And then my son, we went and visited. So on the way back from our little trip this weekend, we went and stopped by their grandparents. And Mikey asked for a jelly sandwich. I was like, yeah, it's my boy.
I'm kind of like that too. I like peanut butter and I like jelly, but I do not like peanut butter and jelly together, even to this day. So
I had
I'll
a
eat
peanut butter
sandwich or like toast or bread with jelly, but not both.
Come on.
for my entire school career before college. I had a peanut butter and jam sandwich, not jelly, but grape jam and peanut butter
Grape?
sandwich. Almost grape jam and
There's a
peanut
difference.
butter almost every day for lunch
Wow.
Speaking of which,
for like 12, 13 years.
do you guys know the difference between jelly and jam? I'm
Isn't
jamming.
it,
I
isn't
can't
it a
make that
sugar
joke.
content?
No, it was a joke.
Okay.
There is
One
a
I
difference
can't
though.
finish on stream.
Right. Just like
There
there's
is
a
an
difference between
actual
gelato and ice cream, but it's still.
I'm sure
Gelato,
people
I
in
think, is
chat
more
know
egg in
the
it.
joke, but there is an actual difference between jelly and jam.
But,
Because one
but,
day-
but can we
when-
all agree that grape jelly is the worst jelly?
It is.
I mean, jelly is just terrible.
Man, I love it,
so,
dude.
as someone who's had jam for my entire life, I only had one time where it was jelly, and I didn't even know it was on there until I actually looked because I couldn't even taste it.
Jam is the good stuff.
Jam is
You're
the good
getting
stuff, and then you
high
have
budget
preserves, but I never see grape preserves.
No, man. Give me that strawberry. Give me that apricot. Give me there's so many other options, please. Grape. Like I literally am like, oh, why are we buying this?
So Patrick
Strawberry
brings up
every time between the two.
Patrick brings up a good point, right? So, put peanut butter on the bread first, it's all good. But if you do jelly first, you might be crazy. So here's where I
Agreed.
differ from you, and I put peanut butter on one piece of bread and jam on the other, and I plop it over.
You mean you do it the correct way? That's what
Yeah,
I heard.
I coat each piece of bread and then I put them together.
That's
grape-
how I do it too. I feel
Grape
like
preserves
that's
are
the
what
normal
Patrick is
way.
wrong. Robert says. Alaric says peanut butter and honey on toast with a bowl of chili.
Anything with honey.
You had
not
me
peanut
until
butter.
the bowl of chili.
No, chili, dude. That sounds incredible.
Not with peanut butter and honey on toast.
Really? I mean,
that
you
doesn't sound
cut out the peanut butter, and it's like you got yourself a little chili, and then you got a little sweet, crispity
No,
crunchy.
he's
thing
saying
going on?
no. Alaric
Honey's good
says
on
peanut
almost
butter
anything.
and honey on toast with a bowl of chili.
Yeah.
So peanut butter with the chili.
Yeah, the
No, I'm not doing that.
the chili is not sensational,
savory.
the
The
savory,
savory.
and then the honey toast is the sweet.
I'm picky,
peanut
so I'm going to
butter?
be
I
on
don't know.
Yemrin's
Oh
side
no,
on this
don't.
one, but
The fact that they put peanut butter on it means they're insane.
true.
Yeah.
Now,
Next
have
few
you
people
guys
are
had
gonna try
beans
to
on
rationalize
toast?
the milk in bowl before cereal. No, I agree with you, Patrick. Cereal first, then milk.
Yeah, who does
It
the?
should always be.
What
You're never
monster?
getting as much cereal in there
There-
if you
there's
do
this-
milk first.
What
There's this
monster's
dude-
going milk first?
There's this dude I follow, Lord K's. All right, ban. No, just kidding.
And banned.
There's this dude
We
I
don't
follow
really ban
who-
a lot of
who
people around here.
Who eats the cereal and the milk separately?
Yeah.
So he'll like take a bowl, he'll take a spoonful of dry cereal, put it in the milk, and then eat it from there. And I'm just like,
It wouldn't be
like
me.
all of his friends roast him for it because it's just like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, and you're definitely not hungry if you're putting the milk in first, because there is no way you're getting as much cereal in there when it starts floating on top. No
No,
way.
of course not.
Now, my stepbrother back in the day used to occasionally do baked beans on toast.
That's a English thing.
That's a British thing. That's
Yeah.
a British thing.
Yeah, it's not bad. I'll give him that. It
No,
sounds
baked,
awful, and
baked
it
beans,
definitely
or
sounds
are
funny
we
enough
talking
to make
barbecue
fun
baked
of.
beans?
Yeah, like some Bush's baked beans.
Hell yeah,
right
bro.
there on the toast, man.
I'd eat some
It ain't
toast.
bad.
I can't eat grains, but when I could,
I mean, I toast all bread I eat. If it takes slice of bread, it's toasted no matter what type of sandwich
yeah,
it is
man.
for me.
Oh, and then you get like a freaking panini going on. We had to get a panini press, and you just like,
When I used to work in the food industry, I'd make them daily, but they were unhealthy ones, so I
dude.
made them the way I wanted.
Why
them.
would you make a healthy panini? Like, what a waste of the
That is a
energy to put it
waste of,
together.
the waste of the energy required to eat it and the materials you're putting on it.
Yeah. Mix the honey and peanut butter, then spread it on
One
the
second,
bread.
I got some
No,
kids
that-
acting up.
All right. Oh, that's not good. Alaric, you had me with the honey and peanut butter on the toast. You had me there, and then you put chili, and I'm just like, I'm not digging it.
I'm gonna agree with Yemrin on that one.
Robert's just like, no, I agree. Milk first is crazy. It's a special kind of person.
Yep, special. Like I'll
Okay. Go ahead.
like if I finish like the cereal and there's still milk, I'll pour more cereal in, but then I will top it off with some milk, additional milk.
Absolutely, that's how you're supposed to do it. But if you start the first bowl with the milk first, you're just wrong.
What are you
You're
doing?
wrong.
Yeah, that's bad science.
Yeah, there's like no positive to it at all unless your main purpose is just the milk. Then you should just have a glass
I guess the
of milk
one
and a bowl
purpose
of
I
dry
could think
cereal.
of it being is if you were filming a cereal commercial and you wanted a glass bowl that you could see through, where the cereal looks like crispy and and
Or
not
you have
soaked
that
in
like
milk.
special splash
I mean,
visual
that's fair,
effect,
'cause
right?
It does look good in those bowls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, duh.
Those cereal ass bowls. Yeah, but I haven't ate cereal in a long time. Like I said, the lactose intolerance. I may eat a lot of dairy things, but I don't do the whole glasses or bowls of milk anymore. That's a little bit too far for me. That's how I found out I had it in the first place.
Oh, what's
Yeah,
the line?
I found I'm allergic to spinach. I'm disappointed because I love spinach. My wife insists that I'm not,
Interesting.
and then she'll make me eat it like once a year, and then I get really sick, and I'm like,
I didn't even know people could be allergic to that.
yeah,
Neither did
I like spinach and kale, and I cannot eat them.
I don't. I only like the only way I'll eat spinach is if it's like raw baby spinach or something.
I hardly eat any vegetables, so
Me either. I only realistically
And
like
all
like
the
3
vegetables I eat
and
are
one of them isn't even green.
I don't eat any green vegetables.
Oh,
Because
I'll
I'm a
eat like some
child.
peas or green.
The only
beans,
time I'll
but
eat
they gotta be,
peas
like,
is if
seed.
the only time I'll eat peas is if they're in a
Don't
what is that
tell
thing
me
called?
can.
No, pot pie, chicken pot pie. That's the only time we'll eat peas, or Spanish
That's
rice,
a good time to eat them.
or Spanish
Also
rice.
a good time to eat them.
Yeah. Otherwise, I generally eat nothing, no green. I generally don't. And yeah, for whatever reason, if it's green, I just won't eat it.
Interesting. I
So,
agree with Patrick though.
like a
Broccoli is
child.
solid. And if you guys like struggle with broccoli, my wife does. She does not like it unless I put it in the air fryer. And so what I do is I'll take frozen broccoli and I'll put a little bit of salt, pepper, garlic, and red pepper. And then I'll do a little olive oil, toss it around, throw it into the air fryer for like, I don't know, frozen broccoli, 12, 15 minutes. And it's phenomenal. Like, it's just phenomenal. Same thing also works with green beans as well.
I'm going to have to take that advice because I don't like broccoli.
Yeah,
I'm
try
gonna
it
have
out
to
if you
try
ever
that.
get the opportunity. And
air fryers are amazing if you don't cook because
Dude.
it makes it easy to make a lot of things.
oh, dude, like it's an excellent pairing with even if you're doing stuff in the oven too. It's like, all right, let's go.
Oh, yeah.
What's everyone's opinion on chili, and should there be a side? For me, spicy chili with jalapeno cornbread and sour cream.
Mine's got to have
And
a
cheddar.
kick to it when it comes to chili.
It's got. I like
makes
some.
it
I like
great
some
chili.
cheddar mixed in with my chili.
I have not had chili enough to form an opinion on it.
Really?
Yeah, I love my mother's chili. She
It's
makes
very
it.
rare that I have chili.
Mine's got to have a kick, and I got a question for you guys. Do you guys crumble up saltine crackers into your chili?
No, but I would do Fritos when I could eat grains.
Oyster
My mother does the Fritos. But I know a lot of people who do the crackers. Usually it's younger people. I feel like older people just enjoy the chili. But
That's
a lot of
ironic,
younger
Patrick.
kids will have the crackers and crumble it up in there and mix it up.
Dude, crackers are great though. Like,
I
you
prefer.
get yourself one of those Ritz buttery, crackers, and it's like,
Yeah,
wow,
I could eat a
sounds
whole
incredible.
roll of them easy. Smash it out.
prefer-
I eat those by the sleeve.
Exactly.
I prefer oyster
the whole
crackers.
sleeve is gone if I get them.
Oyster crackers are great.
What was it? I had those.
Or soup crackers, depending on who you talk to.
I forget the name of the ones I had now. I want to say Triscuit, some kind of crackers. Then you get the tray of the slices of cheese, and then you just get the fancy cheese and crackers kind of thing going on.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got to get the like olive and is it cracked black pepper or some kind of herb? Actually, pretty good.
Okay. Take your word for it.
Pretty cheap to get too, so a good little snack to have every now and then.
Patrick says, I
Besides
like
eating
chili,
like
but
cake.
you know where the chili is terrible? Chili's. Which is ironic.
I haven't had Chili's.
Never been to Chili's, actually.
I've been a ton
like-
growing up.
You've never lived.
There's
I meant the Southwestern egg rolls, man. I'll get the triple dipper. It's like $15, and you get 3 kind of appetizer things on there, and you can pick and choose. And I just get the Southwestern egg rolls for all 3 every time I've gone.
The
And I
nearest
want to say
one-
Chili's is one of the only places that do them.
The nearest one to me is like, I don't know, half an hour. We never really ate at like those kinds of like we ate at like TGI Fridays every
It's
so
like
often.
a slightly better Applebee's, but only
I've eaten at Applebee's, but I've never eaten at Chili's. Never eaten at a Ruby Tuesdays, even though there was one just the town over that went out of business.
I worked at one when I was a teenager.
Oh, okay.
I was one of the cooks.
Ruby
It was,
Tuesday.
it was
Austin.
interesting.
Oh my God, he's back! Welcome, Sean.
Hey, what's up, Sean? How you doing, dude?
Wow, he's been subscribed for a while.
Yeah,
He's the
Sean.
only one.
Do you have tools that I don't have?
No. What
Oh,
the-
he's got. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the badge. Gotcha. I was
what just
like,
happened?
there's some
badge,
people who
no.
have cool features on when they stream on YouTube, and I'm not one of the cool new features people.
I got
who
like
come-
3 more months before I hit the 2-year.
Dude, thank y'all. Appreciate you.
He's the only 2-year in the current chat, that's for sure.
We got a couple of people who are. I see Lord with the freaking crown.
Man, the legend.
Nope, that's not it. Okay. I can't check how long he's been. No, he's the only one I've seen with the diamond.
You can check the
Other than
perks to
myself.
see the
I wish they'd
diamond.
give
You-
me.
you
I wish
start
they'd
off
give
at
me
junior.
more options to like have new, like more badges as well. Like I think that'd be kind of cool because it's like, all right,
I mean, emotes are good too.
yeah,
Oh, you do have
emotes.
emotes.
I do.
You need more. What is this?
I need more members. Like, and I'm not, and that's not. I don't clip that like guys begging for membership. It's like, no,
you do gotta have a certain amount of
No,
like,
you're not
more.
they
right,
unlock
more
at certain tiers and stuff like that. Let me actually look, see where we're at, because I haven't remember. Like we hit 100 members the other day.
Yes, you are, Sean.
Briefly.
But the kind of special that like a mom thinks you're special.
Which is to say you're the most special, precious child out there.
2 years, 6 months.
Oh, 78. So we obviously like some of those were gifted, but so we're at 78 members. Let's see here. What's the where's the thing? Talk about membership in your videos. All right, I'll collect the box. Done. Let's see here. This is best practices.
I beat you, Sean, by 10 days. In 2 years, 6 months.
Some random individual in the chat.
Oh, okay, here we go. So the badges. Oh, they have a 36-month badge and a 48-month badge now.
Oh man, some
baby. All right, boys.
Membership.
1 second, I hear some kids crying.
Oh no. I forgot Brian was a Texan. If he wants Tex-Mex, he goes to the grocery store and then the kitchen. True.
DTM65 is my protege this stream. I've made him one of us.
One of us. One of us. Bezos? No. That's up to Google to team up with Amazon. And I don't think Bezos could because... Not could, but would, because YouTube is competition for Twitch, or becoming competition for Twitch.
All right.
So... Wow, Brian.
What did I miss?
No, you
Let me go back to the stream thing because it doesn't show. Yeah, there it is. Solomon with a 1 gifted membership. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Oh, I forgot to do it. Boom. Dropping a Phoenix on the chat. Thank you so much for that support. Boom. All right. Let's see here. And let's go back to the member goal because that puts us at 21. Boom. On the day. Oh. So whoever got that gifted membership, welcome in. TM. Yeah. I like it when I see people who are hanging out, getting it.
The lurkers, man.
All right, let's see here. Let me go back to that thing because I did not realize I could. It's like, maybe it's not this one. This one. Where's the...
Gotta occasionally bring the lurkers to the light with those gifteds. Yeah. Make sure they get a little sunshine every now and then.
A little bit. You gotta water them every now and then. Let's see here. Yep. Do I have other images for the badges? Let me check my mouse real quick.
What is this?
I should organize these so much better.
Funding? Nani deska? Oh. Okay. Can I get a dragon back? Sorry, Sean. That's above my pay grade. And what are you looking at?
Right now, you get to be the light no fire symbol.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to that game.
That's one of my most anticipated.
I've heard, you're the only one I've heard talking about it too.
Really, those videos do great on YouTube right now, so I don't know many people are.
Well, I haven't looked into it at all.
You know about No Man's Sky though, right?
Yeah, no, that much I'm aware of.
Okay. It's basically going to be kind of like that, but except for instead of an endless space, it's going to be like, from what I remember the explanation, like a life-size planet in the game instead of just an endless galaxy, just one mega planet.
Interesting.
Like lifelike proportions kind of thing.
Earth-sized planet.
Yep. From what I saw the explanation. So they're still going with massive scale, just in a different way.
Yeah. But technically that is massive.
It's going to have like mages and stuff like that. It's going to be a little different than No Man's
Sky. It's magic? It's a fantasy instead of a sci-fi?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh man, I can't wait till it comes out. Even No Man's Sky now is way better than it was long ago.
So good.
It's a pretty epic game now. Pretty epic. They even do the Diablo style seasons, where you have the seasonal character. You can earn seasonal cosmetics as permanent unlocks, and you got the seasonal milestones and stuff.
Okay, that's cool.
Added all kind of stuff to the game. There's all kind of vehicles. You got mechs. You got all kind of planetary vehicles, freighter ships, all that. We got submarines for underwater, all kind of stuff.
That's cool.
Can build underwater bases now as well, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should use that for a sub badge.
Sean, he's on PC.
Yeah, I'm on PC. I wish I was on GeForce Now.
I think you can play G4.
Not 14. 14's not on GeForce Now, unless something changed. Wow. I freak out. We have another Phil Spencer moment. I like it when people try to like use that as like a dunk. I'm like, dude, thank you for sharing that out.
One of these days, you're gonna have to get a GeForce Now, sponsorship.
So they reached out. So I guess I'm in the GeForce Now waiting room or whatever. Like they're just evaluating my content.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. According to what's it called, Mike's post on the 29th last month, he's got FF14 on GeForce Now.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up real quick.
I would say.
Let me do a quick little Google search real quick.
GeForce Now requires an update. Please add in windowed mode. Like every update, I'm just like, come on. Final Fantasy. Grand Blue Fantasy, which is added. They added in
I still gotta get that game.
Ocean. Star Ocean.
I'm gonna send you the screenshot, Brian.
Yeah, I don't see it. Cool, thank you. Let's see here.
I googled it and the answer I got was no.
Oh,
it's
so
not
that
on
is
GeForce
they're
Now.
not showing GeForce Now. They're just showing the GeForce experience.
Gotcha. That's different.
That's different. Yeah,
Okay,
everybody like if you got a NVIDIA, you got GeForce experience.
Okay.
Man, you know the thing that's so dumb is at first GeForce Now you could play all your games on there. And I have Shadow PC, which is basically like streaming the whole PC, so the companies can't pick and choose what it can and can't stream.
Right.
But I wish GeForce could still do that. Like any game you own, you could play. That would be fantastic.
RSJ fan asks, "What are macros and what's the point of them?"
So macros are just like a shared set of options. And thanks so much for keeping on chat while I was doing that. I did update the sub badges, so we'll see if anybody's badge shifts here in a little bit. So macros are the ability for us to like do multiple commands at once. So and you don't want to use those for things that are normally on the GCD, namely because you're going to lose out. So they're like the GCD is going to be much faster, especially as you level up, and the macro is always going to be at that set. Like you can put a wait command, but it's not going to be as fast because it doesn't enter into the queue system of the combat when you're using your normal skills. But like here, just to kind of showcase like how I've been using them for these various different equipping my skills. So whenever I release a controller guide, I say, hey, here are the macros, and I put them in the description, and you can copy and paste them in. So it immediately sets up your hotbars just like how I have them. But here's an example of an old macro called Wind Mage, where I would use this up if they were close enough. Fluid Aura would only trigger if they were within range, and it was always just kind of a pushback and bind. Or I would use Aereo 3 if it was available, or I would use Aereo 2 if it was available, or I'd use Aereo. And this was the what I would call fail through, where it would just, if it couldn't do it, it would just move on to the next line and try to execute what it could do next. And this was an example of how you had to do it on the controller before they started actually upgrading spells. And I don't think any of those spells exist anymore, like at the White Mage level. Yeah. Do I think the Final Fantasy 14 sale will carry on Xbox release? You get the starter edition if you have the ultimate perks. I do think that there's going to be some kind of sale. I don't know if they put a timeline on any kind of current, but I think they're going to want to get people playing on Xbox, and then I think the question is I'm assuming based off because they're doing the way they're doing it, that they're gonna sell you Dawn Trail as well. I would prefer if they just sold you the Xbox version complete with Dawn Trail, and you could just buy it and you could play all the way up through the current expansion. But I don't know yet. 60% off right now. I mean, since you can't technically buy it on Xbox, like I really do hope that they continue it. Does it have a timeline on it? But here's another macro that I like. Emera off, flying mount roulette, sprint, PvP sprint. So that way I can either summon my mount or I can sprint in both PvP and PvE content.
Well, for macros for dummies kind of explanation is basically when you set up a command. So when you press a button or key, it executes multiple actions with one press. Mm-hmm. But in Final Fantasy, from what I could take, is you don't want to use it for certain areas. You have to be optimized because it's slower than if you were physically doing all those actions. So you don't want to like rely on it in important end game stuff. But in other MMOs, a lot of people do utilize it that way. I think it's just in Final Fantasy, it's as slower than if you were physically doing it yourself.
So to call back, and this is not a call for anybody to do support, because you hanging out here on the stream is support. Please always note that. But it says I need 5 more to open up the next emote slot. That's just what the YouTube's thing says. So we were looking at it because that kind of got me curious, because I was like, I don't think I have new emote slots. But they did add 2 new badge slots. So anybody who's at the 36 month or the 48 month, you'll see a new different symbol by your name when that happens. So I just picked at random what I already had like in my emote slot. So it is what it is. Dude, all right. Solemn with a drop in a 5 spot, a 5 bomb. That is a, let's see here, I forget which one this is. I think this is Ifrit level. Yeah, perfect. Ifrit level support. Holy crap. Outsider will drop in 5 gifted members, and Solemn with another 5 gifted members. We'll just leave the Ifrit up. 3 Ifrit bombs. Welcome in everybody who has now been gifted one of those members. I hope that you guys also check out the exclusive content. Let's see if that opens up the emote slot. But let's update that, because I also owe, because that pushed up the first. Okay, let me do some math. We just had 15 roll in, so that was originally, so that pushed us up to 26. Which means I owe you guys 5. And then you guys did it again. So that was 31. And then 36. All right. So there we go.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you guys. And let me do, here's fun. Here, the funny thing is I can't from my dashboard gift out memberships. I don't know why. So I'll have to go to the stream specifically. I have to copy my own link. I need to go into like a new tab. I need to mute said tab so then you don't hear me echoing. And then I need to paste it in, hit enter. So now I'm on the stream. I might as well like my own stream while I'm here, because I'm a narcissist. And let me go ahead and give out all what I guys owe you. 5 members here. Oh wait, no, I don't want to join my own channel, YouTube. And here we go, 5 members. Thank you guys so much for that support.
Also, where were they? Hannah as well. Welcome to you both to the channel.
Yeah. If you guys are joined into the Discord, if you got it linked, you can actually come hang out in the members lounge as well tonight before we're hanging out in voice chat. So there's the 5 members.
You can come and join us and add your lovely voice to the stream.
No pressure.
No pressure. We're chilling.
We're chilling.
Chill in.
Okay, good.
Do you have more?
Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Outsider, and thank you, Solemn, for those gifted subs, hitting us a member milestone, and yeah, boom, baby, cool.
Do you think you also have dulcet tones that match Solemn Argus? Put it to the test and join us.
Yeah, I mean, someone's got to take the crown, right?
Indeed.
Vinny Vaughn. I haven't seen that name in a
dude.
while.
Is Vinny hanging out? I haven't seen Vinny Vaughn.
Here, yeah.
He got one of your
here in order to claim it.
Vinny.
Vinny
I always wonder how that works. Vinny, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming by.
I think I've gotten a membership gifted to me before when I wasn't physically in the stream. It will send you an email that you got one though.
Cool. Sweet action.
And it was in.
Yeah, it's like we've had like 15 members gifted out, and there's 22 people here on the YouTube side, so no idea what's going on.
Well,
so maybe it just pulls out from. I would hope it would prioritize people here. Crash getting a freaking members, sweet, awesome.
So the way I understand it is that you can only gift memberships to people who are watching the stream currently, because they have to be claimed manually.
The first time.
And
I don't know why that is.
I think always. But
well,
I mean, there's
a certain streamer I don't watch anymore, and I received a gifted stream or a gifted membership for their stream.
Oh, did you?
Even though I had unsubscribed and everything.
Weird.
I got the email, and then I was like, wait. I thought you had to be like at least subscribed to get it. I was almost sure you could get it by when you're not watching, but. Yeah, so it's kind of like a weird system. I'm surprised Patrick didn't get one. I don't know if he's got gifted.
Patrick's here, and it doesn't even let us individual, because there's people it's like some was like, oh man, I really wish I could watch those videos. Like, come hang out on the streams, man. Like, that's all I can say. But it's like it would be really cool to be like, all right, yeah, like for somebody who's like, I show up to all the majority of the things because I see all in the comments. That's why it's also nice. Like, that's where I think YouTube could do a better job at like badging and things like that, like because it like even in the comments I heart a lot of comments because it eventually will add a heart badge when I'm looking at replies, and I'm like, oh okay, I know I've seen this guy talk, and it's like, because it's not like it lets me view their history. However, on Lono and a couple of people's streams, they can actually now see like your chat history, which I was like, that's gonna be so nice, because it's like
like a preview feature, that or it's you got to hit a certain tier of something to see it.
Oh, I'm sure that like maybe, I mean with the numbers that Lono pulls, like I'm not I'm not expecting anytime soon.
I'll disclose that's the streamer I was talking about that I did stop watching, but I'll tell you one thing, he is a member getting monster.
Oh dude,
I'll tell you that, an absolute machine at it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I listened to him and Kirk debate like the exclusives, and I know like where Lona falls, and I don't agree, but it was funny because Lona, like, they brought up like Elden Ring, right? And they were like, oh, but Elden Ring had some performance issues. Well, guys, Spider-Man 2 like had a lot of performance issues, and that I think refutes the the one platform means that I'm getting a better product. It's like, yeah, like guys, like, some things break,
I'll say it doesn't, man. I've played PlayStation exclusives. They have just as many of the same type of issues as multi-plat.
Yeah.
And it, to me, it doesn't bother me. As long as I can play the game, I'm like, hey, man, I'll look past the bugs.
Right.
I'm playing the game. That's what matters. I'm not gonna be like, man, give me my money back. My guy T-posed for 3 seconds. This is unacceptable. It's not great, but hey, I can still play the game. I'm not, wasting all that time and money to refund it or anything.
Right. That's the thing. It's like, and honestly, like, I get that a bug can be frustrating, like, and it's like, oh man, the ones that I think are personally where I'm like, I fall into the category where like, yeah, I'm pissed, is that if it deletes your save, like if you lose your progress, like that's in my mind is unacceptable. That should be caught and everything found, right? But the but then, like, when it's all said and done, it's like, I think, honestly, like, a lot of what I see online feels a lot like a spoiled toddler, throwing a tantrum. Like,
yeah, it is.
Oh, no, I saw, like, I dropped a frame. It's a bad game. Like, no, I think maybe you need a break. Like, video games are miracles, the fact that they even exist.
Yeah, I mean, we got some crazy stuff in games these days. I think people are so, used to the trough. You got so much feeding in that you just don't realize how crazy some of the stuff is, because you're just so used to it. So now you don't have that appreciation for it anymore. And like a file, like save file deleting thing, that's huge. You guys that don't have as much time for games, that's gonna hit you really hard.
Yeah, and that just like that makes you want to, like, I'm setting the game down. forever.
Yeah, it does. It does do that. And that's definitely one of the bugs you definitely don't want to have in your game. For sure. The server thing is getting up there for some people because you literally can't play the game. So, I mean, I'm not going to refund the game just because I can't play it yet. It's not, if I did spend the money, it's not going to kill me to hold off. And I don't need that refund. Because if I bought it, I know I want to play it. So I will give it that time and give it a chance. And I know not everyone is that way. Some people are like, day 2, it's not working. I'm getting my refund. Give it to me. But I'm not that fickle. I love games. It's what I do most with my free time. I'm going to play the game. I'm going to give it the time to get where it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because I wanted to, not because I care enough to give them the chance. It's like, yeah, I want to play the game. I'm going to give it a chance for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I get how, I mean, some people definitely get a little overboard with it for sure, though.
Like, I think that's just sometimes when it's like, that's a sign that maybe you need to just take a break, you know, like just get some air.
You really do. Especially if you care enough about games to where that's what you're nitpicking about. It's like, unless it's insanely bad, not that big of a deal.
Right.
Now if the devs are sitting there talking smack like it's going to be the best damn game ever and it's going to be better than this game, better than that game, and it comes out and it runs like crap, then you can give them some, you know, them some crap for that.
That's their hubris.
You were talking smack and, you know, it hits you right back.
We're not going to have any problems at launch. Other developers are just ridiculous. Why would they launch
they're a little
buggy
humble,
game?
you give them a chance.
Says the guy who's never launched a game. It's like, okay,
exactly.
All right, man.
Like,
I wish you well. I wish you well. I'm rooting for you. I spent money on your game. I'm looking forward to it.
Then the whole game's on fire when it launches all of a sudden.
Oh, why didn't they just make it good right out? No server issues. Especially with MMOs, like it's just like such a overconsumption. You know, it's like, oh man, new MMO. It's like, oh guys.
Yeah, that's because a lot of the MMO people are like, nope, anytime there's a new MMO, I'm trying it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Is this going to be, the next?
Like that a little bit.
You know, everybody's just like, is this going to be the thing that, you know, replaces WoW for me or whatever? It's like,
I don't think anything's ever replacing that. I mean, they are already too invested in it. Even if there was a game that was better, I mean, it'd be rough trying to rip people out of that game.
Yeah.
It's just been around for too long. Got too big of an attachment to their actual lives and memories. It's not just a game for them anymore.
Yeah. Vincent says, I used to pre-order games, but after Cyberpunk burned me, I wait a month after the game released before I try. And don't get me wrong, I love Cyberpunk now. No, like that's the thing. Like lessons learned. You know, it's like the me and the content creator, you know, aspect. It's like, okay, if I'm interested in the game, like, you know, I'm fine with doing certain things. But generally speaking, the best advice is just like wait. Especially like when you look at like different red flags of like, hey, you know, the reviews can't be published until the game is released. Like, it doesn't guarantee the game's gonna be bad, but it's like, all right, well, are they trying to hide something from you know, everybody?
Sometimes they are.
Sometimes they are.
Was
because they got to get that bank.
I am a Cyberpunk advocate though, so I get that.
Yeah,
it definitely wasn't amazing at launch, but it is good now. I'll tell you that right now. It is good now.
Yeah,
people love that DLC. I'll say it was in a good spot even before the DLC in my opinion.
Okay.
A lot of people attribute it to the DLC, but that's because you weren't ready to give it a chance until the DLC.
Yeah, DLC, like an expansion, etc., is generally like a good invitation back into the game. And that's something I talked about with like 14. Somebody was like, "Oh, he's expecting Yoshi P to issue him a personal invite." And I was like, "No. Like, I'm talking about like an update or whatever." And I was like, bringing the game to Xbox, like it's a huge.
That is huge.
Invitation.
Yeah, the thing with servers though, not being able to play the game, kind of like Helldivers. I can get some frustration with that. Now, keep
Mm-hmm.
in mind, it's not as bad as it could have been because it's a good game.
Right.
Now, had this been not a
That's
good
the
game,
rule. Like that's literally
that
the
would have been a
rule.
huge
Like with the
problem.
whole, I'm gonna say SBI because the last time we mentioned them in the stream got flagged and got demonetized. But thankfully the appeal went through. Yeah.
I know.
Homeland Security found you, man.
And so like with that, it's like people are like, oh yeah, like I'm glad there's attention being brought on this issue, but the end of the day, the rule is still the same. Make a good game. People, there's no
People
boycott.
ignore
If you try to boycott a good game, you're giving it free promotion. You know, so it's not like, you know, it's like
Do that with Hogwarts.
yeah, exactly. I heard a rumor, and I wasn't able to like connect it, but somebody was saying that SBI was actually behind the have they played that Wizard game harassment campaign, which feels
I would not be surprised.
Probably.
Didn't work.
I mean, I don't see why, because it still like had elements that catered to
Doesn't
those
matter.
people.
It doesn't matter. Like you either subscribe to the full doctrine
It's because of
or,
J.K.
or
Rowling.
you're done. And there's people that are no longer friends, and you haven't seen them come around here because I was like, guys, like I don't care what you believe about this, but if you want to go and attack these streamers, like you're gonna just give them hundreds of millions of dollars of promotion, and then they're like effing turf, and I'm like, all right, like
They
okay.
can call me that. I'm playing me some. I'm a Harry Potter fan, so I'm playing that game. I don't care whose friend I lose for that.
Yeah, it's like
I'm
at that
playing
point, like when you realize like you're a little bit indoctrinated.
Yeah, I mean it's. I don't know that specific situation. Now the current stuff is a little more, you know.
Right, but like
that's
if
some
Harry
stuff
Potter
to
was a
do.
bad game, like you would have seen all
would've
kinds of
heard about
labels
it.
attached to it.
You would have heard about
Harry Potter
Absolutely.
being a good game, people just and this applies. Like let's say a new game comes out, SBI is attached to it. Like if the game's fun, people want to play it. Like like that is what it is. I think what
People will forego those things if the game is good and the
Mm-hmm.
story is good.
Absolutely.
oh man, yeah, and then like after Suicide Squad's, you know, like hey guys, yeah, that didn't go so well. How about we make our next one a live service?
So that game did poorly, partially because of what it literally was. You know, Suicide Squad, which isn't that popular, and then Kill the Justice League.
Isn't that
which
popular?
People were fine with correction. People would be fine with killing the Justice League. The issue was how they did it, right? Because they disrespected all the characters, aside from Wonder Woman, of course.
Yeah, I was just
all
about
the
to
male
say
all
that.
the male characters. Like
All the male characters.
All the male characters got the.
So-
that's the thing. It's like they're not about diversity.
so that
It's
was
not about
part of it.
diversity. It's about dogma. It's
that was
the
part of it, right?
DEI whatever dogma.
That and tax breaks.
Oh,
So
of
that
course.
was part of it, right? Was how they treated the characters. The second part was that it was actually a lot of people just thought it was a really bad game in general.
Hey, I was one of the 50 people who was like, you know what? I'm gonna beat this game, and I played it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people
One
just
of 50.
there were some people who didn't care about the story. They just played it and they were like, "Wow, this game is really bad."
So here the summary for
definitely not great.
Patrick. The summary for Patrick is that on Steam there was a group, I think maybe that when at least I heard about it first was around 5,000, like a Steam little community group that all it had was a list called SBI Detected, and I'm not going to say the name because again I got demonetized once. I'm like, we're good. I get it, Google. I understand. You know, okay. And so somebody from that company found the list and decided that they were going to blast out to all of their supporters to go and get the list taken down. And this is a list of their public information. Like they publicly talk about these games. And so they basically just put all of that information into a list. So if you like SBI and what they do, that list has value. And if you don't like them, then that list has value. It's just educating the market. But so they found that, and then they issued a harassment and targeting campaign against the creator of the list, who's Brazilian. And so then they also insulted him because called him white. It's like,
Did they really? Oh, that's
Yeah.
funny.
I was just it couldn't
this
be
actually
more
starts-
poetic. It couldn't be more poetic.
So it actually starts before the list even was created, right? The list was created because Az from Heel versus Babyface called out SBI
Okay.
by name because they destroyed his words, not mine. Alan Wake 2.
Okay, yeah.
It was a ideological mess. And so he looked into it, and apparently they add a lot of DIE stuff.
Which honestly is it's better to call it tokenism.
Which generally at face value isn't bad. The issue is that they add it as a superfluous thing and is actually to the game's
the
game's
detriment.
What I issued, oh shoot, I got whacked.
So, and then it got picked up by games urinalists, because journalism is a joke.
Bloggers.
And it got, who games journalists are defending them, and as well as other companies who do similar things. And actually, so here's the thing, right? People stopped calling it DIE and started making it DEI because they were marketing that way. It was originally marketed as DIE. They changed it to DEI because people were catching on too quickly and got scared of it, because it's literally the acronym DIE.
Right.
So people got scared of it and were figuring it out too quickly. So they changed it to DEI to kind of shake things up. Yeah. And people fell into it, but no, it's DIE.
Yeah,
because everything it touches dies. So
yeah, and
so the example that I gave, because again, like when we start to look at and we evaluate things, like on their surface level, like if you apply the same logic to a similar scenario and it's absurd, then the original concept is also absurd. So I said, imagine if you were playing Super Mario Wonder, and in sometime in World 4. Mario turns to the camera and talks about how much he loves being Catholic and that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. I would find that very weird and also disturbing and like out of place. Like it doesn't add any value. Like that, like why, like there's nothing in World 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 that has anything to do with that. And that's essentially where
he touted his Italianism.
Right.
Trying to spread a message instead of making a game.
Right. Well, again, Dogma. That's what it's, I don't believe it stands for diversity. I believe it stands for Dogma.
Oh, what is it?
Because it's like the gaming is already like it's incredibly like I don't know, man. Like it just
division.
I'm perfectly fine with like people who like you want to put like a cool character like in your game. I don't care race, creed, religion, orientation. Like it doesn't matter. But it's like they butcher. Actual to say I would go so far as to call them homophobic because they butcher like any good characters or a characterization in that regard. So
it's even worse than that, right? So they
very rare to see
they won't make up their own characters because they only see validity in the straight white characters.
It's because you have to erase the straight white one with the gay one for it to matter to them.
Right.
You can't just
because they only
character.
Yeah.
Because then they don't pull the focus.
I mean, there's a guy who calls it sloppy seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that instead of creating one of their own, like for example, making Ariel and the Little Mermaid black, sloppy seconds. Why can't you take a fairy tale from
that culture and make a character with that?
There are plenty of fairy tales from the African culture. African mythology is pretty cool. Not gonna lie,
it is.
Smite opened my eyes up to African mythology, and it's pretty legit.
Yeah, but Robert Jones, not my Mario, absolutely.
Yeah. But then, it's just like
the thing is that like what Robert says, I was fine with diversity, equity, inclusion until you realize how they measure diversity. It's that it actually is a quality of outcome as opposed to like any kind of merit. And so and that's where you see like anybody who gets challenged on it, they call it harassment now. They're like, oh, okay, well, like if we can't have if I'm like, yeah, I don't think this makes any kind of sense. They've used these tool sets, and I think they've overused them enough to where general human beings that with logic and reason are like, oh wait,
It's
like we're all having a problem with this. Okay, well, my job's is like, whatever, man. Like these people are crazy.
Like gaming is the last bastion of hope against these people.
Well, it's because now that word is a percentage number. It's not a moral accounting.
It's not diversity, because if you're talking like in diversity, I think is also, it could be very organic. Like it's like you could write interesting characters and they can be diverse. Like there's no issue.
Diversity, yeah.
But that goes back to where I get frustrated at tokenism.
So like skin color is literally only skin deep, right? It doesn't matter if
I mean, it's like Robert Jones is saying, it's not diversity. It's a measure of if you're not white. What percentage of not white equals diversity?
I mean, not like diversity of thought matters more than diversity of your physical self, right? Who cares what you look like as long as you think differently from everyone else?
Well, the point of diversity focuses is to try to paint a positive light toward people that might not be represented that way enough in certain media. And if you do that by intentionally excluding people in a negative way, sometimes aggressively negative way,
I think it's worse.
How do you expect
it's created more animosity, more racism, more separation.
Yeah.
It literally is having the opposite effect.
Hateful, effect.
But they control all the gaming sites, because you saw every gaming site come out there not acknowledge the harassment campaign, like the sins that they've made. I've seen some of the tweets like that they've made that they have proudly broadcast. One guy who works for SBI says he thinks that all the Jews should be aborted, and I have the tweet, and I am like that's.
As someone who has a Jewish
am I missing a little context? Like, are we at a comedy club and I don't know, making a abortion Jew joke? I'm willing to give you to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm willing to let you explain to me how this isn't like what the context is, and looking through it. Obviously, it was an older tweet from a while back. Maybe they've had a change of mind. Cool.
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so. That's the thing. Like, I think honestly, like whether you're a believer or not, like. Prayer. The only real way that we can pull people out of that kind of cult mindset is, we have to be that shining city on a hill, that contrast to it, that love them to the point where it's like, it doesn't mean you need to get frustrated, but they're going to try to goat you into doing and saying something silly so that they can just broadcast that across their thing and say, see, these are the monsters that we're fighting against. We're the true heroes. They try to pose themselves as a moral authority, and they've lost that, and they've abused that power, and here we are. So this is it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm apparently scheduled to be interviewed on TV about this, so we'll see how that goes.
That sounds interesting.
We'll see. Who knows? It could be. Again, I said as long as I could record it on my end.
So Patrick says there is something he heard once. There are fantasy differences divided by gender. Most guys assume if you come across the Iron Man suit, we're good to go. Women ask for the instruction manual. That's fair.
As far as what you were saying about that guy said about Jewish people, I can't imagine if they were saying that before that their mind would be much changed now.
Then you go look at just like, you can't be racist towards white people. It's like,
hear it every day.
And it's like, again, like I don't.
Robert, guess I'm a woman.
Thanks, Kago. I didn't see him, so I guess one of the mods on that side took care of him.
No, it's because the dude who was spamming before is still on your screen.
Oh yeah, more people would have to chat to move that on up. I'm trying to work with some of the guys that I've worked with in the past on some assets about like conjoining the chats so that they it can also kind of all flow up on the screen, because I like how that looks personally with the bubbles, etc. Just chatting to spam chat. It's you'd have to spam it on the Twitch side to move it up, because like the YouTube side doesn't show up because I haven't figured out how to join the chat together.
Probably some kind of plugin or something for it.
Oh, I'm sure. All right. Oh man. Worth anything? Oh, can I use the wind up Scarlet?
You still playing any Helldivers, Brian?
I haven't played Helldivers in a couple of weeks right now.
I think they just added another what do they call them? Whatever the battle passes are.
Are you playing Helldivers?
I do, yeah. I've been playing with Mike. Well, about a week or two ago, I was playing with Mike on stream.
You want to play some Helldivers right now?
We can. I can pop on the PlayStation.
It's crossplay. So let me actually. It's not cross save. That's why I was like, I would have bought it on the PlayStation as well. We'll do, because I was talking with the Amron, and it's like, yeah, I'll do a members stream of some Helldivers.
Now that you are touching on the most sensitive topics, any thoughts on daylight savings? Should it be patched out?
Oh yeah, patch that out now. I hate it.
It annoys the hell out of me. And I work in a nursing and rehab facility, and I'm the one that has to go around and get on a ladder and change all the damn clocks in all those rooms, offices, nurses stations. I mean, I fix a bunch of stuff, but when it comes to that time of year to do the clocks, man, am I annoyed. It's so damn many clocks. Got to change them all by hand. That, and I prefer it to get dark earlier. I'm a night owl myself. Like the night.
I generally am too.
Yeah, couldn't be a morning person if I tried. They're trying to get me to be though.
I can't. I'm not a morning person at all.
All right, let's see here. Cool. Next.
Yeah, they got a new, I think it's called War Bonds for Helldivers. Just came out maybe Tuesday. Got some, some new weapons and all that in there. Let me bust out.
Daylight savings was a good idea for wartime.
But mainly for farmers and stuff, right?
No, I thought it was for saving energy.
Bad for farmers.
Was it?
It was originally for wartime.
Bad for farmers?
Yeah, it was for.
It's bad for
maybe I'm not remembering.
Because they get up basically whenever they get up at a set time. It basically messes with farmers because it messes with livestock. Because livestock don't adhere to daylight savings, they only adhere to like when is the sun up.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they did it so they had more time for crops or whatever.
Farmers don't care one bit about your clock. Yeah, that was for farmer. No, it wasn't for farmers. It was for manufacturing time.
Yeah, I swore I always heard it was like
during wartime for more
about farmers having more daylight to do the crops and stuff. I thought. I mean, I could be misremembered.
I don't think so. I heard it was for wartime, which makes sense because they had.
Wouldn't surprise me. A lot of things were about that back then.
Yeah, but we haven't really been in that kind of war,
right,
for a while. Although who knows?
Cool.
But
if anybody wants to join, I'll put this there. Boom, baby.
Time for a little bit of liberty and democracy.
Yeah, I had a patch, so I'm pulling that up now. All right, guys, I'm gonna end this stream, and we're gonna roll in, especially all the new members. It's just a member only stream, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with me for this piece of it. And we're gonna go play some Helldivers and chill and talk about who knows what else. Probably lots of fun stuff. Maybe we'll even mention SBI's name. I don't know. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for being here. Hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next thing that I end up doing. But until then.